Warning: full stories up have no way to. Any and all names mentioned are likely fake. At Campfire Moto Stories are not journal, not be considered. If you're offended by anything said or shown in this episode, don't care. But we encourage you to voice your opinion. Laugh at the fact that you. This program contains full language, and I recommend no one to watch or listen.
The views and opinions expressed in the program are those of the speaker and not necessarily reflect the views of the sponsor, any advertisers, or sponsors' affiliates, employees, or partners.
Live. It's Campfire Moto.
Welcome to Campfire. I'm Anthony. Cast is everyday.
Warning: full stories up. Warning: full stories up have no way to. Any and all names mentioned are likely fake. At Campfire Moto Stories are not journal, not be considered. If you're offended by anything said or shown in this episode, don't care. But we encourage you to voice your opinion. Laugh at the fact that you. This program contains full language, and I recommend no one to watch or listen.
The views and opinions expressed in the program are those of the speaker and not necessarily reflect the views of the sponsor, any advertisers, or sponsors' affiliates, employees, or partners.
Live. It's Campfire Moto.
Welcome to Campfire. I'm Anthony. Cast is everyday ride, funny miss. Have some fantastic guests in this. Plus, have exciting tech tip. Spotlight is stolen. 8:30 live viewer. Lastly, 5-year-old. Hey, 5-year-old. Don't forget. Try participate. Check out .com and head to. Let's get it started. Another lap around the wall, another request, another call. All right, I can't reply.
My boy Cooper Webb sitting in on the 250. Did y'all see that? You didn't see it? Damn, what's the chance Amos got to go out?
Yeah, we're live. Old Mike Crane talking over the fucking song. My boy Cooper Webb, he's fucking coming. He's racing 250s.
You got that right.
Welcome to the show. We got, why don't you guys introduce yourselves? Coleman, go ahead.
I'm Coleman Owens.
You barely can hear him because we've got some fucking studio issues already. The fucking microphone quit working on before we even started. So,
But I'm loud enough. You can hear me.
oh yeah. Actually, I'm pretty sure. Could you guys hear him through the speakers with him talking?
I hear that big mouth. That's about it.
Yeah. We got Mike Crane with us, a legend around the Atlanta area, and then Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler Setzer.
Stetzer?
Yeah,
Yeah. Fucking weird ass name.
With the
Kinda
T,
funny.
Stetzer,
This
right?
dude grew up on the street we're on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We were at
That's freaking
Jimmy's
wild.
wedding. I saw the Stetzer on there. I was like, who in the hell is that?
It's Setzer.
Stetzer?
Yeah.
Stetzer. Fucking
Oh,
weird.
I thought I had a T in
Is
there.
that some weird ass Irish name with that ginger
It's
beard?
German.
German?
Yeah, it's German.
He's
So
got
your
it.
parents are responsible for the Holocaust or like his ancestors?
I
Is that
wouldn't say. My dad is from the hills, so I don't think we had any part of that.
so? So I always like to start the show off with a little bit of a what I call like an icebreaker, and I did this one last time. Let's just watch this thing again.
That's
You
Coleman.
guys are all here.
I was
Is that a
there.
mullet? Is that a mullet?
That's
That's
a
me
good
in the
looking mullet.
background to the left, sitting
No,
at the table, eating
I'm
cake.
talking about acting with the mullet.
There we go. Grabbing Coleman's mom.
Oh, that's Coco's mama.
Do you guys even remember me doing this? Did you?
I know. Yeah. Was that at James' wedding?
No, that's at Coleman's wedding.
Oh,
that's
Coleman's
Coleman's
wedding.
wedding.
Okay.
Getting the old pat down.
That's so wrong. That's so wrong.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I surprised him with that last time, and he was
What'd
like,
you get your hair cut for? You rocking out on the mullet.
so I think we talked about this when you were on my show. So I used to grow my hair out for 2 years when I was in college, and I'd cut it all off and donate it. So I told my wife that with me working at home, I was going to do that again. And she, it got about to that length, and she had made a few comments about, you got to cut your hair. And after a few of them, I said, I mean, we talked about me growing it out. She's like, yeah, I just, I remembered you looking better with one, with long hair. So basically it was long hair or vagina, you know.
So lots of love.
Well, got to go.
Lots of love or lots of love.
That's it.
So yeah, that's a little intro I like
She
to do
was
to get
a
into there.
lot younger when she thought it looked good.
Yeah, well, I was a lot younger when she thought it looked good too. So, all right, so Mike's a well-known motocrosser in the area. Tyler and Coleman, they're more of our woods goons, but they've done some epic adventures across the country and good rides together. So I thought this would be a good bunch to have in. So Tyler texted me something about a 2-pump chump story. Why don't
We're
we
not going to go over that one on this.
Bump, jump story.
Well, no, we're not going to go over that one
So
here.
he sent me that in a message, and I'm like, okay, is this a motorcycle related story, or is this
No.
something else? And he's like, I'll tell you on the show, and now he's backing up.
No,
So-
I meant we would pregame before the show on that one to see if you wanted to take that one. But I'm pretty sure you might not want to take that road on.
Does it violate the rules that I
I'll
had?
tell you, trust me, man. If he say don't talk about it, oh shit.
Hell, I don't even know. I didn't even hear about it. And I was on the ride, wasn't I?
It's partially moto related, but not 100%. We'll put it like that. So it's
Are
not.
you saying we should come back to this?
I mean, if there's somebody's talking about a 2-pump chump kind of situation,
That's what I
typically
That's-
there's some
yeah.
pumping, and then oh god, and then you're a chump.
I mean, he got it in, and that's about it. And the next one,
Yeah. Is that what it has to do with, or no?
No.
It wasn't the ride I was on then.
Are you saying that you might have been on this 2-pump chump ride?
I have no clue. I don't remember nothing. And it's even
Shit.
It's
All
way
right,
over
all
my
right,
head. I missed it if I was on the ride.
I guess we're going on then. I mean, I don't know. Fucking checking it out on the first trip.
Oh, this was a Daytona?
Mm-mm. No.
Different trip? Oh, this was an Alabama trip.
No.
oh,
No.
freaking! I know what you're talking to send me. I know what you're talking about.
Coleman just caught up.
It's just a Hatfield McCoy.
Oh, the Hatfield McCoy trip. So I never went on the Hatfield McCoy. So I'm
we
like,
gotta know now.
I knew it was like
So
over
Coleman
my
can
head. I'm
agree.
like,
We
what?
might want to go on past that one.
Do we go past it?
It was pre-wife, pre before I dated and everything. It was hysterical.
Yeah.
Oh, so wait, Coleman's the culprit.
Well, that's why I wanted to pregame before the show to,
To make
ask
sure he was
permission.
okay.
To make sure. I didn't want to put a spotlight on my buddy here and be like, "Hey, buddy, welcome to the show."
I know that his wife's
Strap
going to
up.
probably listen to this at some point. However, he's like 70 years old. They just got married like a year ago. The man's lived a life, you know?
Let's roll on to the next subject. We'll come back to this in a little while.
All right. Well, maybe we're going to take a little break and play a video so we can have a little potty break or whatever, because you old fuckers, your bladder's small. So I know you're going to need a little break and whatever. So we'll come back to that, I guess. But the all right. So Sorry, I still have this cough from a while ago. But I was going to mention the first time that Tyler and I got to meet was at your wedding.
Is it
So that's why
Coleman
I
wedding?
wanted to bring that up. Like, we've had plenty of like mutual friends and seen pictures of each other or said hey to, like, as we're talking to the friends at like sorts races and that kind of shit, but nothing ever where we actually got to sit down and bullshit with each other. So yeah, it's kind of funny how it all full circled. Find out that he grew up, right down the road from here.
Yeah.
And also, man owns a local transmission shop in Ackworth, and he's actually rebuilding my dad's transmission right now.
Yep.
So if you guys need any transmission work, you're in the North Georgia area,
Get the plug.
that's the motherfucker right there.
Castle Transmission.
Castle transmission.
I'm really glad you didn't decide to go with your last name transmission because you'd have gone out of business.
Yeah, I would have put myself out of business telling people that's not my name.
So people are like, "Hey, Mr. Castle," when they come in, kind of thing.
Some people are. A lot of the older folks that are native Ackworthians. They knew Ernie Castle, who opened up the shop, and they come in. Oh, I knew Ernie, and they want to talk. For
So you
hours.
took over when he retired.
No,
Bought his business.
Ernie got sick and passed away in 2011. He sold the business to another guy, and then he had it for a while. He couldn't get any help, and yada yada yada. So I ended up buying it from him.
Cool.
And but I knew Ernie, and I've known everybody the whole time. But yeah, a lot of the more of the foreign customer base comes in. Oh, Mr. Castle.
You respond back to him like, "Welcome to the transmission market."
No, I just go with it.
No, we's in the juice. No, we's in the transmission
They're
juice.
like, Mr. Castle. I'm like, yeah, how's it going? That's me.
That's great. Let's see. Old Coleman, he was on before, so we get to talk when we meet. But Mike, I don't think we ever even kind of officially like, hey, this is Mike Crane. Like, me being around Jim and your son-in-law so much.
Yeah, well, I knew you from, I think you met Drake Henderson somewhere at a restaurant.
Yeah.
You got to talk with the monster hat.
Yeah, that's funny.
And Art told me about you, and then, shit. And
I think I probably was
Doug
just
Stonecker asked me.
that's how Coleman and I met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I met you at, I think it was a Hill Farm. You were down there parked by Doug.
Is Hill Farm a Sorks race? Like the name of a Sorks race?
Yes. Long time ago.
Which city was that in?
Sparta.
Okay. Yeah.
And you were behind a truck, and I introduced myself. I'd heard about you through Drake and them. And then Stonecker, he asked me if I knew. He said, Drake tells me about him, but I don't really know him.
Yeah. No, that was
the first
pretty
time we
funny.
met.
Drake, told you right before the show that I ran into Art right at the street at a tire shop the other day. But yeah, just randomly was at
Drake and him at a Mexican restaurant somewhere.
No, it's a sushi type restaurant, or what's it called? Hibachi restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah, and
up there by Publix or something.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because I had on like motocross stuff.
Yeah.
And he had on a Yamaha shirt, and I said something to my wife because he was a young high school kid.
Yeah,
maybe
he was
16,
still young,
17 at that point. And I was like, oh, he's probably like, a monster rider or whatever. And then he asked me who I was, and I told him, and he kind of was like, oh, yeah, I know of you kind of thing. So, it's funny how you end up kind of meeting people like that.
He was telling me about you, and I was like, no, I don't know him. And then Doug told me about you, and I said, well, I've heard about him, but I don't really know him. And then I met you down there. And then I guess
every time I see you
now,
fuck, what was I thinking? What were these assholes doing?
Every time I see you, I remember you.
Well,
it's like Setzer. I ran into him at Highland Park.
I was going to say, how'd you guys all kind of meet?
And then Coleman, I met him through C-Dub. We were riding the C-Dub, and we went and ate Mexican.
Yep.
And then, so I started knowing Knucklehead, and then they were buddies. And I rode with him a couple of times. I just knew him as Tyler. I didn't know the damn last name. I just knew Tyler.
I remember riding with you the first time. I was like, oh. I wonder if he thinks I'm fast.
He doesn't.
No, there's no way. I was in his way the whole time.
Let me tell you something. Anybody looking at this old man right here, I'm putting the camera on him.
Yeah,
you ain't gonna think much of this dude. Just an old fart, right?
Yeah.
This dude will hurt your
Your
feelings.
Bad.
Yeah.
Break them.
Like you're cruising along. I'm the shit. I got it going
I'm
on.
moving.
I am cruising. What the fuck was that?
Just like a dust trail.
That was Crane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like shit.
Yeah.
My arms are cramping and shit.
You.
I could have been a little better.
All you hear is exhaust and brake. Gone.
Yeah.
So I went riding with him a few weeks, or no, this was 2 years ago, but at his home track, and then and he just you can't keep up with him. I feel like fucking what's that kid's name? He was at the track at WMMX. I was riding Sunday. Bryson Raymond.
Yeah.
Is that Bryson's his first name? Yeah, that motherfucker can't win by me. I feel like you're probably his speed at that track.
No. He can roll over there. He's rolling everywhere. He's picked up the space really good.
I was at Spring Creek actually when he made his first national. And I just happened to look and I was like, I know that name, Georgia. Oh shit, yeah, I know him. I knew his dad a long time ago.
I grew
Spring Creek the year 2 years ago, 22.
His dad raced for my little brother growing up,
Yeah.
but I've known him since he was a little dude.
So a few weeks later, I get Crane talked into going to this track that closed down in
War Eagle.
Auburn, War Eagle,
War Eagle.
and I'm at pace with Crane. We're marking each other on the track, and we're at the same spot each time. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm riding good. Like, I'm able to fucking keep up with Crane, right? We get done riding that session. This is probably the second, third time out when you finally get your juices flowing and you get loosened up. Yeah. And he comes back and goes, I'm riding like shit today. I can't believe how much I'm riding like shit today. And I'm just like, this motherfucker. I'm so...
That's exactly what he
Now, do you think that because I was actually keeping his pace, that then he felt like he was riding like shit, or he just was
I wasn't
riding
even
like
paying any
shit?
attention.
That's even worse. I wasn't even paying.
I just ride.
I didn't even realize it.
I didn't know you were on the track.
Because we met somewhere, so we rode together. So we're driving back the whole way, and he's just like, I can't believe how much I'm riding like shit, and I'm just like, motherfucker, I'm fucking punching old man.
And we
I'm
met
hitting
in
old man in
Fairburn, didn't we?
public.
Yeah.
I think it was Fairburn. It was at where it used to be the mall,
Union City.
Union City.
Yeah.
And we did. I remember that now. I forgot about that. We did
I
meet
can't
and
even
ride
remember.
down.
Oh, that's kind of just south of 85 and 285.
We met at the Quick Trip, didn't we?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I
Left
don't
my
remember.
truck there.
You just told me, or I was like, all right, he's coming from here. I'm coming from here at work because I was working down in Jonesboro at that time. It was like, this is a good middle spot, and then we'll ride from there.
That was a weekday ride, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like a
Wednesday.
Wednesday night kind of
Yep,
thing.
I remember it.
It sucks to see that place close down, too, because that was a damn good track. And I think that I saw somebody ran his equipment into the lake
Oh, I
or
don't know.
ruined it or something like that.
I have no
happened.
idea.
And somebody basically sabotaged the poor man's shit, and then after that, it kind of went belly up. So, and he was actually a woods racer because I talked with the guy, and he knew one of the guys that was on my 24-hour team, Justin Terry, the redhead dude. Yeah, he was a buddy of his. So, but yeah, also to talk about how much of a legend that we got in here. So, Mike, I did a little research. I want to know this true.
Uh-oh.
Gatorback Cycle Park, March 4th, 1984. Were you there?
Oh, yeah.
What place did you get?
I think 6, but I could be
Damn,
wrong.
6th place. Yeah.
Which I thought I got top 5, but I
No.
ended up 6. I
Yeah.
think, did I have 2 7s?
I just have the overall, so I don't have the individual.
I thought
motor
I got a
scores.
5th overall, and my sponsor told me if I get top 5, I keep all the money. And I thought,
And you didn't.
oh man, I got top 5. It was, I got 6.
Yeah. No, I'm surprised. I mean, that's a year and a half before I was born. So I'm surprised you remember that. I'm just testing your memory. All right. So
Some things you don't forget.
So yeah, anybody kind of listen to this, I kind of
That was
want
a
you to
high
think
point.
about that. Now, I
That
mean,
was a
this
high
is,
point for me.
this is this is mid 80s, of course, but that's like having a top 6 placing finisher in the 250 class today.
Yep.
In studio, just to give you guys a little reference.
Just a regular old guy likes to ride motorcycles.
Yeah. Now he's just a
that ain't
decrepit
changed
old
any.
man.
Damn right.
No.
No.
Redbud, July 1st, 84.
No, first 84 Red Bud. Maybe a 12th overall.
No, you got
11th.
9th.
9th.
And the next two were actually 12th. So High Point and Spring Creek in 84. So you had a good year in 84. Is that when you turned pro and got your license and
No,
stuff?
83.
83. Oh, actually, yeah. So
83, I got a top 10 at High Point in 83.
That didn't show up on here.
It-
So, Hangtown, March 27, 83. Were you at Hangtown?
Yeah, it was like 17th, maybe. It might have been 13th. Had a lot of 13ths. Not Hangtown. A long time ago.
21st.
That was in
Well,
84.
I mean, you didn't even earn pro points on that.
Was that
race.
84?
I mean, I kind of want to kick you out. You
Was
got
that 84?
21st. No, 83.
It's hard to remember.
Is Scott your dad?
That was a muddy one.
Scott?
Yeah.
No, Scott's
Setzer.
not.
There's a Scott Setzer.
Yeah, that's my son.
Oh, your son. Okay. He said Coleman's mic messed up. We know it's messed up. He's just gonna have to share off mine. No, look, I actually destroyed his mic on purpose so we can actually just talk shit on him, and all he can do is just at that point just take it.
You hear mumbling in the background.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to take it anyway.
Yeah, well, that's true. He can't rebuttal though. But Saddleback, 83, 13th place. That was another 13th place. What was Saddleback like back then?
83 was great because it had rained a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
84 was
details like
it
that.
was hard as this right here. In Blue Groove.
Yeah, he got a memory like an elephant.
Yeah,
It
that's
was Blue
ridiculous.
Groove. I rode the Florida Series with I can't remember the Dunlop tire back then, but it was basically a sand tire.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to California early, and we went to Saddleback practice. Tore every knob off in a 30-minute motor. I swear it looked like a road racer slick with side knobs on it. And some of the side knobs were gone. It was just like that floor right there with powder on it.
So it sounded like you needed a slick anyways for that kind of
You
track. So it
needed
was just trying to just give you
I
a good
think it
old
was a
slick.
Bridgestone M23, or it was a 22 and a 23. I don't remember which one's front and rear.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what everybody ran out there. They worked good on hardback.
What's on that thing? I think they're like knockoff. No, the front one's a Dunlop.
This is a Volcanduro.
Oh, these were Bridgestones that worked good out there.
Yeah, this is a.
That's kind of the trend pattern you would go right there. More,
Yeah.
Verbally, if you want more knobbies.
That's a Taiwan tire.
Yeah. Shit, that's what came
That's
on the
an
thing when we
IRC.
got it.
I can
IRC.
see the
is it?
IRC
Yeah,
on
it's
it.
an IRC. I see it.
IRC.
The front is a Dunlop though. That almost looks like the type of tire that would be ran more on hard pack type
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
or no, Mike?
I don't remember them running Dunlops. Everybody ran Bridgestones out there back in the early 80s.
What was like one of your most favorable memories kind of from that era?
Shit, every weekend was a great memory. There wasn't too many bad memories. I didn't crash too much back then.
Oh yeah.
I was still young, and I could wad it up and get back up and just keep trucking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could wad it up and look like I was dead and get back up and just, if the bike wasn't meant too bad, I could just keep going. Now, it's like,
I mean, at some point we were all that way. We were all made of rubber, and then old age catches up.
yeah, now if I follow it, I can get up and keep going, but the next morning, try to get up and go to work is what sucks.
I was gonna ask you if you ever get sore because you'll fucking ride your damn touring bike to a Sorks race, win the damn overall in the AA class, and ride your touring.
I ain't never done that,
home.
but I've finished top 10 in right at home.
Now, I tell you one of the best ones was he showed up, rode to the race, if I'm not mistaken, that was Ridge Run, where we're going to go this
Yeah.
weekend. And you showed up there, you had a flat tire on your bike. Was that right?
Not on my street bike.
Yeah, not on a street bike, but you had flat tire on the dirt bike, your bike that you was going to ride. And you rode that, what was that? That 600 or that
It's 570.
The 570. Bobby
But
had it back in the thing.
I had been I had crashed been a radiator and then I didn't realize it was leaking.
Yes.
And Bobby says, "No, if you ride it, it's gonna be
burn it
bad."
up. So
He said, "You can have my dual sport." And
That's it.
He said, "I got 350
That's it.
dual sport," and I said, "It's got stock bibs in it.
Yeah.
I mean stock tubes." I said, "No, I ain't riding that."
And
And
that's
he goes, "Well, my 570's got tubeless."
that's it.
I said, "I'll ride that."
Yeah. And this sumbitch took and rode that bike, that 570. And I'm serious. I think that day, you finished fourth overall. That's right. You finished one step off the podium on a fucking 670. What was 670?
570.
570.
All right, because I'm not sure exactly what bike this is. So this is
It's a
what?
Husky. Hoosberg.
Yeah, Spur. That's right.
It's Bobby's Hoosberg. Oh, I don't have them in my old phone. I used to have a video from it on my.
A Husqvarna. What year?
It was a slanted motor, whatever that was.
So 16.
Oh,
Just do it. Just-
Oh, five.
Eight.
Just do it. Hoosberg 570. It'll come up.
Yeah, that's
That thing. FE5.
right. Can you put it over here?
Well, yeah. Well, I will. But
It was up at Bobby's shop, ain't it? He sold it.
No, he got rid of that.
Yeah, that thing on the far right is that same bike.
that's it.
That's it.
It wasn't that bike, but it was the same bike.
Well, I'm expecting some big fucking thing. That's not too
Still.
bad.
570.
Oh, that's
for
a
Peter
handful.
Woods.
That was awesome.
Fourth place is pretty damn impressive on anything,
Yeah.
but on a bike where
Overall.
you're like,
Fourth
Okay,
place
race it.
overall.
But it was
fourth overall.
set up for Bobby.
Yeah. And that was up there.
Oh,
Edge run.
now he's got what, 100 pounds on you?
I don't know.
Yeah.
A good 50.
250, 255, 245.
Got 80 pounds on me. But
Sorry, I was so far off.
it
saying
was
100.
awesome. It
Well,
was
the boss
awesome.
is watching now.
Oh yeah.
But the suspension on it, he had some, whatever the suspension was, dude, you know how rocky it is?
hmm
I didn't even look for rocks. I just pinned it. It was going over everything. I ain't kidding. I could hit anything. It was just soaking it up.
Yeah.
And it had that big motor and it was heavy. It was planted. I was just pinning it.
It's like riding the XR 100 through the woods with a big motor on it, huh?
Ah,
XR 600 maybe.
Yeah.
It was soaking everything up. I mean, you know how gnarly those rocks
Yeah.
are, and they're moving. I was just pinning it, staying right on top of them and flowing. I had a horn on it. I blew the horn at everybody.
remember that shit because that's why I brought it up. I was like,
I came up on Caleb Franklin, and I was blowing a horn, and he turned around and looked at me, and he actually moved over. I swear to God. I blew the horn until it quit working. On that, to everybody I came up on, I just tooted the horn at him
It quit working.
until it quit working.
motherfucker,
that's funny.
That's great shit.
But Caleb, I swear to God, Caleb Franklin moved. He looked back, looked at me, and he just moved out of the way.
He knew. He said, "This son of a bitch done caught me on this thing, man. Fuck, I'm moving."
Well, we started on the same road.
Yeah.
It was fun. I had a good time. I fell over in the scoring tent because I couldn't touch. I swear to God, I come in there. Wow, I fell over.
You serious?
I swear to God, that fell over in the scoring tent, that bitch. I ain't lying.
Did they help you up?
No, I picked it up and took off, but
Stood on 1 foot peg and drove right off.
I just got-
always
I just
do.
Like it does on that BMW.
I was trying to, yeah, I know you ain't supposed to pass through there, but they were in my damn way. Sitting there, my handlebar down on the pole, and it fell over. But they wouldn't get out of the way. My horn wouldn't blow no more. They were lappers. I swear they were lappers. But they wouldn't get out of the way, and I caught that pole, and it got me off balance. I fell over slow motion.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
good. That's a good story.
So you were passing through the scoring tent.
When you're not supposed
But you're
to.
not supposed to, but the sumbitches wouldn't get out of your way. And your horn wouldn't work.
Too slow.
Hey,
Hey, they were going too slow through the scoring thing. I'm like, really? Come on. They were stopping.
Oh, God.
They're looking at the thing.
Like,
Just hit 'em.
stop, look at your thing. It's like,
They were
fuck, we're in a,
stopping and looking
we're
at
in a
the
race.
scoring
Let's go,
Look,
people.
I'm not falling because of that. I'm clipping their handlebars. They're gonna fall. I'm out of here.
Yeah, but I was already kind of committed, and they stopped, and I just when I put on the brakes, I got off balance.
Damn, you got me crying.
Oh,
This shit.
But hey, be honest. How many times has there been a fucking just a train, going into scoring, and you just go and into the front?
I'm like, what are y'all doing?
I've done that several
Well,
times.
Yeah, that too.
It all depends on what the back of the helmet says.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
No,
But they stopped to look at the thing instead of going.
Yeah,
Dude,
instead of
you're
going.
racing.
Yeah.
Don't worry
Yeah.
about it. Just go.
no, I don't.
I don't care what place I'm in. I'm going as hard as I can go.
So a little pro tip to make yourself feel better about that. What you do is you bump somebody in the back of the line with your elbow, and then you fake whiskey throttle with your feet off, and you do one of these. And then you stop right at the front, and then you get over, and then you go in front.
I suppose that would work.
Or you go into it real hot yelling, "No brakes! No brakes!" And
That's
then,
actually happened to me before.
like, you actually ran out of brakes.
I had no brakes coming through the scoring tent. Where was it? It was winter series, Sorks, somewhere down south.
That was when we ran. It was the 2015 season when we ran that when me, you, and Questenberry
Yeah.
won our respective classes.
Yeah,
That's
and
right.
and second lap, it was straight mud. It was swamp. We were literally, it was pouring down rain. The track, all the trails were on the edge of a swamp to begin with. So when it started raining, the swamp grew. So the whole track is just a pond. Like, you can't tell where you're going. You're looking for markers. That's the only way you can tell where you're going. You remember what? You
The
remember?
picture on the championship plaque. Remember where the tire is
Yeah.
slide? That was that race.
That was that
I know
race.
exactly which
Yeah.
race you talk about because you lost it because of the mud where you out.
Flap
and you
out.
pushed
They
the
were gone.
piston Out, that son of a bitch. You lost.
What race was it?
Oh God, man, it was.
It was down there by Warner Robbins. It was down by Robert's house.
Perry?
Yeah,
It was Perry.
I think it was Perry.
Yeah,
It was Perry over there by the fairgrounds, whatever.
yeah. And it was a swamp out there.
That's exactly right. Remember that it was. We went back there in the woods, and I swear, when we got there, and remember it was like 50 lanes back there.
And it was all rooted out. It was all rooted out. And then
Oh.
and then it rained and it
I
was
was
It
at
was
that one.
Stallmacher and them, dude. I swear he was there.
That was
They
the
were-
one that fucking Jim got stuck in that pile and took his helmet off and threw up, and everybody's getting caught in the barbed wire, right?
No, that was a different one that we had. 'Cause that-
Well, this-
I remember
at the end of this one,
What city?
it was Perry. It
No, I'm
we-
thinking of a different one.
we come out of the woods and you know how when you come out of the woods you usually do the zigzag thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, rear brakes, I had them the whole time. Come out of the woods, coming in hot, and there's like a dozen people on the side of the trail, like, go that way, you know.
Mhm.
And I look in front of me, and there's just this big nasty mud hole, and people are piled all up in it. And I go to hit my brakes, and there's no brakes, and I'm coming in hot, you know. So it's like split second, and I just gun it, turn the bike sideways and deflect off of somebody's back tire with my back wheel and like shoot off up into the woods, come back around, and I'm get back on the track, try to calm it down, and it's just front brakes, all I can do. And all I can say is I was right there at the time tent. I rolled through there with no brakes. That was only my second lap, and the track conditions were that bad. We just took it to the truck.
Huh.
It was bad. And I went out there and Robert finished it. He had no brakes as well coming through the
I
finish
lost my
line.
brakes too.
Yeah, you quit the race too, didn't
No,
you?
I actually finished that race.
You did.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
that's right.
finished that
You
race.
did. I watched you. I got pictures of you
That's
and
right.
Robert. I stood on the side of the track and y'all come up. You're like, what the fuck happened? I'm like, no brakes. Robert like,
Come on, let's go.
Is that exactly what he sounds like?
he did.
oh
He
man,
did.
Robert
this is
was a
over.
trip.
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. Coleman and I gave a little tribute to him when he was in last time. So I was gonna ask you guys some good memories of him. What's like your favorite ride that you got to have with that guy? Let's give him some honors.
I don't think I ever rode.
Are you
never
sure?
rode
Because are you sure you just didn't fucking leave his ass and that way you didn't ride with him?
Well, he raced with us.
They were on the
But
same
never
track,
ride.
but
We never
Yeah,
went
just
ride.
go riding.
Yeah,
I
go
never
ride.
went. I didn't ride the enduro road with him or nothing.
I'll tell you,
I never went on a West Virginia trip.
there to put it to you like this, there was so many good rides with Robert and so many memories with Robert. I wouldn't be the rider that I am today if it wasn't for Robert
That's
Cressenberry.
awesome. And see, I
He
never
pushed
got to go
me
on one of those trips.
When I had this raggedy ass Yamaha, clapped out suspension, might as well had water in the damn forks. And he's saying, you go up that. Just go. And I'm sitting there like, are you crazy? And he just hops off, beep, 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 right up through there. Come on. And you know what? I have no choice. I'm going. And then, I struggled with that bike. And
Was
I
that
bought
back
it.
when you first started riding?
Well, no, I've been riding for a long time.
Yeah, but that kind of riding.
yeah. So I
Cool.
went and got my KTM, and he wasn't. Coleman wasn't able to make it when I got my first KTM. When me and Robert, it was just me and Robert trip, and me and Robert went up there, and the trip before I had went to Hatfield McCoy with Robert and Coleman, and we had a great time. But I was on that Yamaha, and it was so hard to handle that Yamaha up there. It was a 250F. It was built for track, like it was just
It's a
all over,
moto
but
bike.
it would deflect everywhere. So, I get this KTM. Robert's like, we're going back up there. I'm gonna show you what dirt bike riding's about. So we go up there, and the time before, we were hitting the hard trails and stuff, and it was just so exhausting. I go back up there on that KTM. It's just like riding a butterfly across the mountains.
Yeah.
And he's like, he helped me learn about, your suspension, how important that is, and your traction and all different kinds of things. The jetting on your bike,
Everything. Taught us a lot.
Yeah, and he and Coleman too. He pushed Coleman. He pushed us to be better riders, and we are.
Push you
We're
outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
We've been midnight, pitch black, out in the middle of nowhere.
Headlights on your helmet.
Yeah.
And that's it. Trying to get home.
We come through a big storm comes over the mountain. Trees fall down over the
Oh, you were talking about that on the last
trees
show.
fall
Yeah,
down over the trail.
Trying to go back.
Yeah,
Blocks
like
the trail.
we're by the end. By
Have you
the
get over 'em?
end, we're just like, fuck it, and ghost riding the bikes down this cliff, just these big old ravines. Like, we don't have a choice. Like, we can't get over this shit. We can't go around it. Our only choice is there's these switchbacks, and I'm talking, you've got like a 12, 14-foot ledge. And on some of them, you can ride it down, but mind you, you've only got 8 feet to stop. So you do a 25-foot vertical drop, just about. You've got 8 feet to stop
road bed, and
before
that's
you
it.
go.
That's it. And then down and up.
Yeah. So,
We lay the bikes down on their side
Slide 'em.
and slide them and hold the back
Yeah,
tire.
shimmy
and
'em
slide
down.
the damn mountain with the son of a bitch.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he pushed
Y'all
us.
making it sound like West Virginia is a lot of fun, guys.
We won't
And this was in the dark?
Well, this was by choice.
But it was in the dark?
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
it was by choice.
And I'm talking 25, 30 miles
To get back to.
to where you're
Yeah.
at.
And then
That's a good day riding.
and
100 miles in a day. 100 miles.
Old Crane's like, what's the big deal? Hey, it don't sound that bad, boys. What's the fucking problem?
well, this isn't like vast terrain. This is
I
This
know,
is-
gnarly.
gnarly. Yeah,
I know Jimmy and them came back talking about
yeah,
took the pig up there. Thought he was gonna ride his pig through there.
yeah. And I watched it go about 10 feet in the air and come right back down at him. He was
He got
we
it
were
for
trying to
500, didn't he?
yeah, we were trying to get up this hill, and him and Alex, we got up there and they're like, we're going to ride the big bikes the first day. And they're like, all right. They go out there
They
and
didn't know what they were
bust
getting
the
into.
blinkers off and they put their tags in their backpack when they picked them off at the bottom of the hill.
Kickstand on Jimbo's bike.
Yeah, and like realize this might not be a good idea. Yeah.
So Alex wishing he had a 300 up there.
And I'm sitting over there with my 300 with a trials tire with like 3 pounds in it. Go.
Well, you know, when we went to Idaho, they didn't have nothing but 300s out there.
300s.
The whole fleet, it was all 300s.
Yeah.
You could ride a 300 or you could ride a 300. Or a 300.
So you can ride anything you want as long as it was a 300.
Oh, it's 300.
That's a good fucking
yeah.
deal.
I'm not kidding. That's all they had.
I'd ride it.
That's all the only choice you had.
I'd ride it.
Yeah, I remember when Jim and decided to take his fucking 600 up there. It was a 650, XR 650, realistically.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember him bitching about it in the fucking group
That's
text.
a heavy
about
bike.
it is heavy.
Yeah,
It was called a
He's
pig
least
for a
big
reason.
dude.
Well, he was headed up this pretty steep hill, and he skyrocketed that thing. Like
It was
he tried it a good couple, 5, 6 times, and then he was like, "All right, I'm getting this motherfucker up there." You know, he had
He
enough.
lost it.
Yeah, he lost it, and you just. I mean that big old pig, and then it hit the rut just right, and it sent it straight up.
Did they have good tires on it?
I don't know.
He had the equilibrium on it.
All I could say is that shit lasted about a half a day, and those two dudes, Alex and Jimbo, were toast. They were like, fuck this shit.
And then Jim brought his little brother with us, Will. And yeah, poor old Will. We drug him everywhere up there.
He's a wild man, too.
He is,
Oh,
boy. He is a
God.
wild card. We would all be at the top of this mountain, sitting somewhere. Where's Will? What? I mean, for a good minute and a half straight, trying to get up this hill, he just get off the bike and you know he's tall. He's real tall,
Yeah.
so he just stand up on the bike and just hold it wide open and walk it.
Come blow it up.
And Jim's like, "Yep, here he comes." We're like, me and Coleman are like, "Can he ride this kind of stuff?" And Jim's like, "Yeah, he'll be all right."
Yes, he doesn't ride that often.
Clusterberry did y'all.
Yeah,
he'll learn.
That's exactly what happened.
And I mean,
He'll
like
learn.
we're in like some nasty stuff, like going through there, like busting frame on rocks and stuff coming through, and we all get up. You know, we're all smoking the bikes out and pushing them up, and they're all overheating, and we, you know, having to stop and take breaks. And,
Trail 150.
yeah, when Will's down at the bottom of the hill waiting on everybody to get out of the way.
That
All right.
Buffalo Man.
Or a YZ250.
Oh, YZ250.
Without flywheel weight.
I don't know.
No.
I
Shit, thing probably had stock pipes, fucking packing.
I
Yeah.
just did the fork seals and
I saw
rebuilt the
driving
fork like the
I think
day
it was
before we left.
XR250 at the shop over there where they work. He came around through there and wadded that bitch up in the gravel out. He had shorts on. I felt bad for him.
So we're all setting up. You know, we've gotten past the big boulders and everything, and there's like a good spot where you can set 4 or 5 bikes off to the side of the trail, and everybody's up there, and Will's still at the bottom of the hill, and we're like, "All right, Will, you know, come on." He was waiting on everybody to get out of his way, and I'll be damned if he didn't crank that thing up. He held that thing wide open. He got up that shit faster than any of us.
Yeah.
He held that shit wide ass open and just stood up, and I mean, like, this is like, there's big rock crevices, big boulders you got to hop up and over and stuff. He just stood up and just walked the bike all the way up. He like literally ran the bike.
Well, the
up,
dude's
up
like
the hill.
6'13", so there's
Yeah.
that.
So, but yeah, it was Will's wild, man.
And
It
didn't
was-
bend a real rotor or nothing.
no.
Probably didn't have a.
I was gonna say you probably didn't even have a fucking protector put on it or
No,
anything.
didn't have no. This bike
Nothing.
didn't have no bark busters.
No shark
nothing.
fin, no nothing.
We actually, on those rides, carry a adjustable wrench.
To
if you
square
your rotor, you can take it, straighten it out enough, just so
To
you
ride back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to Get back.
I did that. I had to do that to the front in Colorado. But it was hitting, and then I'd have to pump it. That's all I
pump it
got.
back up. Yeah.
I'm gonna do a tech tip on that because I've got a good little trick. So what if you got a Sharpie, you'll want to take and spin the wheel until it starts to catch, and you put a mark. And you spin it the other way until it starts to catch, and you put a mark. And what you do is you grab you a wrench, like you were saying, crescent wrench. You find the middle of those two marks, and you just go the opposite way of what. If it's bent this way, you go that way. If it's bent this way, you go that way. Kind of thing. So that's a good little trick. Christian. It might be a worse last name than his. Yeah, he ate shit at the same race I blew my knee out. Like I helped him and fucking straighten it out, and he was good to race the rest of the thing. So yeah, two marks, go right in the center, you go the opposite way. And what you have to do, because like you know with a brake lever, if you bend a brake lever, you can't go past a certain point because that bitch is going to just snap off. So what you got, but with a brake rotor, because of how flimsy it is and it's got kind of some memory, you got to go way past it until you get that mark. And then, yeah, you just spin it again and that shit's perfect. So good little trick for you guys to figure out there.
Tech tip of the day brought to you by Anthony Bennett.
Frank did?
Brittany.
Oh, Brittany.
Or in Orlando.
Oh, geez. Speaking of Brittany, you do realize that James and RJ, the only reason they married your daughters, well, I'm sure there's other reasons too. We won't get into those reasons. But the main reason they married them is to get your genes mixed in with their genes to get hopefully like a badass racer. We have told them that, and they haven't confirmed or denied it. But I'm just saying.
It all started with
had
they
nothing to do
needed
with
to
that.
learn how to turn. I asked him to teach me how to turn. He won't teach me how to turn.
Yeah.
I just need to know how to turn.
From Mike.
Yeah, teach me how to turn, Mike. I don't know how to turn.
Got practice.
I'm scared.
Make your turn track and practice. I need one too.
Quit being a pussy. Get out. Do some.
I need to turn track to practice on.
Like, how is he so fast? He knows how to turn.
I think his fucks to give are just
Well, we
so
came back
low.
from
I don't
our
know.
trip.
I can't figure it out.
We came back from our trip, and I go to
Which
scrub,
trip?
and I'm rusty. We gone to
We went to
Canada.
Nova Scotia, Canada.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
Canada,
I had rode dirt bike a couple of weeks, and I was feeling scrubby. I mean, just terrible. I go riding, and I'm trying to, get dialed in. Who do you think shows up? Russell Bobbitt.
Oh shit.
Smooth as silk. I wish I could have just rode behind him. I tried to stay with him, too, and ended up stalling my bike and get behind. I couldn't see him no more. Smooth as silk. Just riding a 450. He usually rides a two-stroke. He was on 450. He rode good. Smooth as silk, though.
That was Russell Bobbitt.
Hmm?
He got Jim. I think didn't he do the Costa Rica ride? He got like a deal or something because of that.
It's got something to do with that.
I think it
Gnarly
was like
routes.
Bobbitt's dad.
Gnarly routes.
Yeah.
He's got something to do with gnarly routes.
I've always wanted to do one of those rides over there.
Well, fuck. I mean, YOLO.
That's very late on it. Him and a couple guys, they said it was good.
Yep.
They said it was real good.
Yeah.
That'd be-
We're gonna get into some of those things, but I'm getting some requests in here to ask Mike about being in motocross action.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I was at Rick Lindell's house last night, and my kid.
Really?
I had a super proud dad moment. I literally
Good old
said to
Rick.
my kid, I said, "Hey, do you want to go ride the pump track at the dog park up the road, the little asphalt pump track, ride his new KTM little electric dirt bike?" No. It's like, "Do you want to go ride the trails with me? Go ride the jump lines?" He's like, "No." So we're heading to Chick-fil-A, and I wish he'd have told me beforehand, but he's like, "Dad, you remember that track we rode with I drove my RC car, and he had like Frankie was out there running with us." I was like, "Rick Lindell's house? Rick and Jaron?" He's like, "Yeah. Can we go ride their place?" So my kid actually asked me to go ride his dirt bike yesterday. And I was like, "Fuck yeah. We're going, bro." So super proud down
Yeah, shit's in the truck. Let's go.
Busted a Yui from Chick-fil-A. "I know you're hungry. Hold on." But no, we went down, we were riding, and I told him that you're coming in the studio today, and he's like, "Ask him if he remembers being in motocross action." Apparently they featured like the top 10 people in like the series or whatever. So he was just talking about like how awesome it was to have, because Rick's a damn good rider himself and well established. So
how's he doing? He doing good?
Yeah,
because he got jacked up over at what's his name's place.
Well,
it was up at
it was a track in Dalton.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but it was like Frankie was a member there too.
Swamp Creek. Yep, Swamp Creek was the name of that. That was a good track.
But he got jacked up pretty good. I've seen him since then, but he was just watching. He was over there with his son, maybe his grandsons. I think his grandsons.
Yeah, they would have been there.
They were riding at one is just across the Alabama line.
Oh, that was Amp?
No, the other one.
No.
One is just down from Amp.
Synergy?
Oh.
Big Springs?
Big Springs.
There we go. Okay.
That's the last time I saw him.
We'll get there eventually. We'll get it. Yeah.
No, he was there and he looked good, but he wasn't riding. I was kind of just.
He has a hard time walking. In fact, he when I was talking with him yesterday, because I brought my e-bike, and he just rides that thing around and he freaking loves it. I got a funny ass story about that. So 3 weeks or so ago, I went down there. Jaron, I know Jaron's watching this, so he's gonna fucking die laughing. Jaron's
still doing good.
He's doing good, but he hasn't been riding. His wife told him no more riding. He did a show with me. I think it was right after Coleman show. But he was kind of banned from riding because he keeps doing stupid shit, right? So I bring my e-bike so I can follow my kids. So they're riding around. Jaron gets on it to give it a try, and he even asked me, he goes, "Hey man, have you done any wheelies with this?" And I said, "Yeah, I don't like. It's weird being the e-bike because it just kind of takes off." I was like, "I don't like doing them." I was like, "Regular mountain bike, I could do them, but I don't like doing them on this." I shit you not. 3 minutes later, I hear and metal crashing, and I look over. I'm like, I just see him. The way it was looking, I thought he like tucked the front or whatever, and his wife is 10 feet from him, and she's like, "What are you doing?" So I was like, "What, Jared, what happened?" He's like, "Oh," when you get the fucking breath knocked out of you. I'm like, "What happened? Did you like tuck the front?" He goes, "No, I see why you said you shouldn't wheelie it." Like, you fucking dumbass. I told you not to wheelie it. It's fucking weird. And
I just got over a broke arm, and Frank Mann had one. And he goes, "You can ride it around." And we were at a sprint indoor. I just went over to watch. And he says, "You can ride it around." So I go out there, and I'm riding the trail, and every time I'd hit it, it would like lunge. I was like, "Damn, I'm gonna get hurt on this thing." Yeah. But I made it through. But I could tell trying to ride a wheelie might be weird on it.
Oh, yeah. You have to kind of know, because it basically takes what you put into it and amplifies it. So what you're expecting you need to pop it up, it's like fuck triple.
Yeah. I learned that riding the last time with you.
I didn't try to ride wheelies, but I did just ride it on trail on single track, and it was like, it takes some getting used to.
I've got one, and I've learned that you can ride a wheelie on it if you have it in a higher gear, like if you're like in 6th or 7th gear.
Yep.
It when you first take off, the strain is there, but then the motor kicks in, and it's just like, and you find that point, and you just pedal it out, and you're already in a gear where you just barely got a pedal. So
yeah, but how long did it take you to figure? Like, and you probably didn't just and you probably started out gradual. No, his dumbass fucking.
Yeah, it took me a minute to figure it out, but it's pretty fun taking off, and you can cruise with the front tire off the ground.
Yeah,
for a good minute.
But yeah, so Rick brought up the motocross action thing. So you remember being in it at all, or what?
I just don't remember what year. It's probably 83, 84.
Yeah, it's probably about right. But he was just saying how cool that was to have like a local
I went down to the Kroger by Eisenacher. Used to work there, but behind our house, and I opened it up. I'm like, holy shit! Yeah.
And he also said,
I had it, but I don't have it anymore. I don't know where it.
Somebody needs to get this man a copy of that magazine.
Yeah, 1984 Motocross Action Magazine.
84,
Make it happen, people.
Yeah, Mike Crane.
Look,
the one, the only.
If you find it somehow, even a paper copy that we can print, I'll give you 50 entries into the YZ250 giveaway. How about that? How about that? Yeah.
There you go.
I'm gonna get 2 copies. I'm gonna get you to sign one, and then I'm gonna throw it away. And Because fuck this guy for fucking making me feel like shit so many fucking times.
It's all right.
All right. So the other thing that he said to bring up, he said, man, I didn't tell Mike about this for years. He said, but when you used to wear glasses while racing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he said,
I mean, I had some Coke bottles over that shit. I swear to God.
so
I
he
remember
told me,
my first hair scramble, it was in '76. I had those glasses on, and one of the lens fell out. And I was having to ride with one eye shut for half a race. I swear to God, half of a hair scramble with one eye shut. And I side that was shut, I kept smacking trees on it. It was bad. But I couldn't see. I was blind.
There's a recurring
Hey,
thing here.
the Big E.
Motherfucker don't care.
Hey,
the fucks to give are real low.
hey, you know the Big E on the exam chart?
Yeah.
It'd make a solid block. I swear to
Damn
God.
fly, motherfucker.
Solid block.
All right.
My little brother went and had LASIK in '98, I think. And it worked great. And I was going through a divorce at the time. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. I went and had LASIK done. And knock on wood, I've been seeing pretty good. Here lately, real small print. I don't see great, especially if the light's not good. But it was the best thing I did. I mean, I've tried racing contacts. When I started wearing contacts, they would get dry and fall out.
Oh, yeah.
It was terrible.
I got eagle eye still, so I'm good.
I had LASIK. I got LASIK.
Did
done. Yeah. I got LASIK
That's amazing,
done
isn't it?
in 2009.
I had it like '98.
Yeah, I still see really good.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I could see better when I left the doctor's office.
Yeah.
I could almost see unreal, like I had glasses on.
Yeah, they
wouldn't let me drive home. I'm like, you gotta be shit.
yeah.
This is the best I can fucking see in my life.
Yeah.
And you won't let me fucking
Yeah,
drive home.
same here. They're like, yeah, you can't drive. And my wife at the time, like, I had the procedure done, and I go into the room afterwards, and the lady comes in and talks to me, and then
Hold on. Wait. So when you saw your wife after the surgery, were you like, God damn, you look like that?
No.
No? Oh, I would have done that shit for sure.
So she walks in and she's like, "Oh my God, can you see? Are you blind? Like, is everything okay?" And I'm like, "What the fuck? Yeah, I can see great, you know."
I mean, within minutes.
Yeah. Well, apparently when they did the procedure, like,
They bust a vein.
well, they did
Vessel.
a lot of them, like
Yeah.
on both eyes,
All red.
because they give you like some kind of sedative, like a
To deaden-
Klonopin or something,
deaden
you know,
everything.
make you all stupid. And I go in there and the lady gives me mine, and then the lady sitting beside me takes hers, and she comes back 30 minutes later, and she's like, are y'all ready? And the lady beside me is like, yeah, you know, all loopy. And I'm
And
like,
he's like,
I'm
yeah,
sit-
you can I have 5 more?
yeah, I'm sitting there and I'm like, if I'm supposed to be like that, I ain't ready. You know, and the lady's like, "Oh, give it another 5 minutes." And in 5 minutes she comes back. She's like, "All right, let's go." And I'm like, nothing has changed. You know, nothing has changed. You know, oh, you'll be fine. You know, well, I'm redheaded and everything, so it takes more for me. You know, everything.
What's red hair got to do with it?
My pain tolerance and my
No, that's
blockers.
actually something that they've studied about because they've been giving Carmichael and Villapoto a lot of shit for being gingers.
What about the new kid?
So
Drew Adams.
Drew Adams.
Yeah, probably.
Oh shit.
yeah, so
Do we start throwing shit at him? See how that thing
See how-
goes? See
I never heard the ginger part.
y'all broke my train of thought.
You getting
Alright,
started,
you're
and
getting-
you weren't
you're
weren't
taking
feeling
drugs. The drugs weren't good
Oh
enough.
yeah, so they take me back in there and they give me this little kitty cat to hold, you know, this little stuffed animal. If you feel uncomfortable, you know, discomfort, you know, just squeeze it, it'll be over soon. I'm like, all right, whatever. They strap my head to this board and they put this thing over me, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy, you know. And then all of a sudden, this thing like sucks my eyeball and does all this crazy stuff.
Can
And
you set it to do any other things?
I don't know. I don't know if you'd want that thing doing those things.
I don't know. It sounds like a fun time.
So, you know, the first one went okay because I didn't know it was coming, but the second one I knew it was coming, and I actually ripped their little stuffed animal in half. And the lady was like, "You weren't joking, were you?" It's like, "No, I wasn't. I felt everything."
Did it hurt you?
Yes, they cut your eyeballs with
Yeah,
lasers.
like open it up.
Yeah,
but-
and they shave it, and then they flop it back and mend it back
yeah,
with
but
lasers.
I mean, it didn't.
You didn't smell that?
I could smell it, but it didn't.
I smelled it and I felt it.
I mean, I could feel it, but it wasn't what I would call.
Yeah, but
Yeah, they probably backed off.
Yeah,
with,
there was some change on that.
so anyways, yeah, it busted all the blood vessels in my eyes, so I look like a Halloween
Like somebody
creature.
done-
Like yeah,
Yeah.
and I looked in the mirror, I was like, holy shit.
I thought it was. To me, it was a piece of cake.
it already looks like the fucking leprechaun.
already
with that
done?
Fucking.
I was really surprised. It was pretty simple to me.
Well, Coleman's right. Back in the 80s, shit was, or 90s, shit was different. They gave you the good stuff.
So you got 11 years difference there.
It should have been better though.
That's what I'm saying. It's better, but
No, we're going way off fucking
Yeah.
motorcycle stories here now.
Well,
But
it
does
helps me
tie
ride
in because
motorcycles.
yeah, it does help you ride with it. Oh no, so that's what
Yeah,
we're
with
talking
no
about.
glasses.
So the fucking glasses. So Rick said
It was terrible.
that every time that he'd hear fucking Mike coming up on him, and he said Mike wasn't dirty, but he was aggressive. So I knew if I
It
would
depends
just
on who it was. If they wouldn't get out of the damn way, I'll ram your ass. I ain't gonna lie.
fucking
I'll
honk
move your
that
ass
horn
out of the
at you.
way.
Yeah.
So so Rick said for the longest time his trick was to just fucking clutch it and dump it. And he'd hear fucking he'd talk with Mike after the race. Mike would be like, "Man, I just keep fucking getting dirt in my eyes every time I'm out there." So it wasn't until they were done really racing each other in their prime that Rick was. Did Rick tell you? Did Rick ever tell you
Nah,
that?
if he did, I forgot about it.
Yeah, Rick said, "I told him.
but
I
Rick
told
was
him
always
years later."
Cool, but there
But-
was some people that were road hogs bad. I'm not calling any names, but I'll ram the
Call
shit out of a
names.
bunch of
Come
them.
on.
Nah, they're still alive and all.
Who was your worst takeout?
I feel bad about it, but it wasn't on purpose. He just didn't let off. Our lines came together.
What year was it?
I don't remember what bike I was riding. It had to be like 83.
I think I saw
It
in
was
the
a big
things
money race.
Kawasaki. You were on Kawasaki's
Yeah.
in that time?
Yeah, but it was at a capital city. They paid really good money. I'd go over and make $400 just every Sunday. Well, every Sunday they
Capital
ran
City. That was like Georgia.
Montgomery.
Okay.
But one of my buddies, Mike Garrett, he was a little younger than me, not much, but when he's 3 years younger back then, it seemed like a lot. He was just getting up and getting really fast. I was kind of just before I started going downhill, and the lines were coming together, and I was going towards the front, and I didn't give a shit. Either back off or you're going down. And I clipped him bad. It was terrible. I was like, dang, I felt bad because he was a good kid. But I cleaned his ass out. And then I was just like, dude, really?
that's his favorite one.
Did you not hear it coming? I was wide open. That dude was check up. I felt terrible about it, but good kid too.
Hey, racing's racing.
Yeah, Rubbin's racing.
But I didn't ever. He had to really be in the way to get takeout. That was a freak thing. It was I expected him to let off. I wasn't. I had the line. It happened.
That's it. It's a racing thing.
It was a race.
Hey,
Yeah.
get in where you fit in.
What I'm saying.
I mean that's kind of my life up until I met my wife.
She's not
Usually
listening.
where I fit in, I had a lot of extra room though.
I don't want to go down that road.
Only Anthony.
That's it. Only bad.
That looks like Bentley on the back of that thing, though.
No, it's Bent It.
Oh, bent it.
All right, so that was a pretty funny story. We're actually going to play a story kind of from that time frame. My old boss that I worked for like 05 till I moved up here in 07, he sent a good story. But they built this badass KLX 140 and put I forget what size motor they put in the thing, but they stroked it, they bored it to the biggest it could, did all this cool shit to
They
it.
put some suspension on it.
Yeah, they put KX85 front forks on the motherfucker.
That's
right. So I go out and ride the thing at Dade City. I go out with the kids on the 85s, and I'm fucking waxing these kids on the 85s on this KLX 140. And so I guess they didn't set the tire pressure the best that it should have been. So I get the thing back, and I'm like, man, that right at the end, it kind of felt kind of funny. So they get the thing up on the stand, and they spin the wheels, and the wheels are just doing this. So Kenny, who actually bought the KX500 from me that we're going to play the story on later, he goes, this mother, because I'm notorious for breaking shit and bending stuff. He goes, we're going to have to start calling him Bent It.
Bent it. That's how you got that?
So that's how Bent It became my nickname, because before then it was Goober. Understandable. But yeah, he just goes, yeah, we're just going to have to start calling him Anthony
Well, who
Bent It.
painted it?
You know what, sir? Why don't you listen and watch some of the previous shows? Because we talked about
Yes,
that.
we did.
You know? Okay.
Hey, you realize I work?
You're normally
You know what?
home in the bed.
I
All right.
am.
Well, no, you're done with your spin class.
I've already finished in. I'm already laying down by now. I'm usually laying down by
Yeah,
now.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm vertical, horizontal.
I called him last night and I said, "Man, what's up?" It was like 4:30. He goes, I'm fixing to put on my pants and I'm fixing to get on the spin bike."
The Peloton?
Yeah.
Peloton?
Yeah,
Yeah.
old bastard hit that. shit
I
every time.
usually have done it and through eating by 4. Today, I was about to starve when I saw you up. I was like, oh, dang, I hope it didn't start too soon.
Yeah, he's probably upset that he missed Murder, She Wrote already tonight.
That's what?
Murder, She Wrote.
I don't got a TV.
Is anybody surprised?
No, all he does is he watch that phone.
He,
watch that
yeah,
phone,
he
right?
watches motocross on
Yep.
the phone and replays and recaps, and he stays up to date on what's going on.
That's it.
That's all he needs. I wouldn't pay for all that if that's all I was into either. Man, cable is through the roof. Cable, internet, all
Oh, I
that
canceled
stuff.
cable like a year or so ago.
But I
All
get,
right, back on track with motorcycle stories.
Okay,
I'll fix it. I can do it.
which one you want to hear?
Yeah, but you-
So, you wrote this on the sheet. It was the last story that you didn't get to, I don't think, but cross-country trip to Sturgis?
that when you're by yourself or with us?
Well, that was 2 times. Probably the best one would be when I first went out there. I had never rode cross country, and
It didn't take nobody to babysit him.
yeah, I didn't have.
It
I
was
didn't have
deep,
any chance to-
it was deep, oh,
Yeah, I remember him showing up at the shop on this Harley Davidson.
It was
I'm
a
like,
2006 Softail Deuce with a 5-speed transmission in it. And I didn't know that it was like 80 miles an hour out there. Once you get past Texas and shit. So my aunt and my mom and them go out there every year, and they were out there, huh? So they go out there, and my uncle, they go out there every year to Sturgis. So I was just cutting up, and I said, "Boy, if I had a bike, boy, I'd ride out there with y'all." And my aunt goes, "Oh, I got my spare bike out there in the garage." I was like, And she was like, "It needs some tires and probably an oil change." I said, "I tell you what," I said, "I'll put a set of tires on it for you. I'll do the oil change, everything, whatever needs to be done, if you let me take it." She goes, "Done." So I load this thing up. I look probably like when we went on our first trip out there.
At the Clappers. You should have seen it. I have a picture on my old phone. I wish I had it.
I got your picture. When we go to break,
Yeah, I
I'll
sent it to you.
So I load up, and it takes me 3.5 days to get there. And I mean, this thing, man, when I got out there, once I got to, it was, that was such a great, crazy trip. I remember meeting this old man at Iowa 80 truck stop. I had never been that far by myself before on the road or a motorcycle like that, you know. So that was like my first thing.
Gave him the fever though.
Yeah, yes. And then man, I met this guy at a fuel stop. He's like, you headed to Sturgis? You look like you loaded down. I was like, yeah. This dude was like 76, 77. This was his 30th year going out there. And his name was Digger. His name was Digger. And he goes, why don't you roll with me, Sonny? He says, I'll show you the way to go. I was like, oh, fuck it, man. I'm going to ride with this old guy. We got to talking. So we rode for about an hour.
Become best friends?
Yeah. So I kid you not. He says, hey, man, we get down the road. I'm going to pull over. He says, I got this girl. He says, I got to meet the professor. I'm like, who the fuck is the professor?
Hey, did this tie into the 2-pump jump?
No. We'll come back to that too. But so we pull over at the parking lot, and it's a man and a man and his wife, and I'm like, who are these people? Well, turns out that this girl was friends with his daughter, and he passed by every year. They would meet him like that. Well, he's like, I'm getting pretty tired. He goes, you looking for a place to lay down? I was like, yeah, I was thinking about getting a room. And then all of a sudden they throw out the invite. They're like, well, you can just stay with us. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know nobody. I'm like, oh, no, that's okay, man. I appreciate it.
I've watched some horror stories. I'm going to wake up to the fucking
y'all-
kidney missing.
You're going to think. So, and I thought the same thing. I said, oh, yeah, these are the type of people that feed you food, drug you ass. You wake up, you're like, what's that pain your kidney gone? And you're just in an empty house. I said, okay. So I was like, nah, man, I appreciate it. And I stood there and talked. And you could tell they were nice people. Well, turned out she worked for, she was some type of, both her and her husband were professors at Iowa State University. So they had a good job.
Some weird shit.
Yeah, so I was like, no, I think I'm going to get a hotel. I said, I'm going to go get something to eat. They were like, I'm just going. This old man, he must have had fucking 24 hard-boiled eggs and pretzels. Every time we'd stop, this old man would open up the thing. He'd get a damn egg out. He'd eat a fucking hard-boiled egg and a handful of pretzels. And this son bitch goes inside. And he's ordering off the dollar menu. I'm like, I want a steak. I want a cold beer. I want to sit down. I'm going to get me a room. I'm going to chill. And I was just going, I'll meet you in the morning and we'll roll on out to Sturgis. He's like, and we were in Iowa. So I said, all right. So I went to eat and they shot me a text. I got their number and everything. And I said, you know what? I said, I'm just going to, after dinner, I'm just going to ride by the address. And if it looks cool, I'll swing by, say hey, and then I'll go get a room. Well, man, I pulled up and I found a place out in Iowa, man. Everything's flat, level, squared off out there. So I was like, rode around, and I looked at the house, and I looked at it, and they were outside on the front porch, and they seen me. And they were like, ah! I was like, shit. Fuck, okay, so I'm going to pull in here. So long as short, I ended up staying. I sent my sister a pin drop. She's dead asleep now. I'm an hour or two. This is like 11:30 midnight. So they're an hour behind. So it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. So I sent my sister a pin drop. I said, hey, look, here's the deal. I'm staying here. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know these people, but if I come up missing, this is where I'm at. This is where to start. My sister wakes up the next morning, and man, my phone's ringing at like 7 a.m. It wakes me up, and she's like, "Where the fuck are you? What are you doing?" I was like, "What?" She goes, "Where you at? Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "What the fuck are you thinking, staying with somebody like that you don't even know?" I was like, I said, "It's all good." I said, "I hear them calling for breakfast." I shit you not. These folks fixed breakfast, did that, hung out. I rode with this man. We rode from there. We rode to where we stopped that night. Where'd we stop before we got there for Sturgis? Where'd we stop? Sioux Falls. We made it all the way to Sioux Falls from right there in Iowa that day, and we got a room, and it was 328 miles on into Sturgis. And I rode in there with that guy, but that's just one of the random dudes you met on the road, man. And I just took a chance. Stayed with some random people. I was by myself, and that was probably one of the craziest trips I took. And then 2 years later, that's when we went.
You know what it was? It was the grocery store smile.
I did, but
The grocery store smile.
Long story. I ain't even gonna go
You
there.
gonna go into that one? You're single man. It sounds like. I mean,
That's what I used to tell them at the shop. Boy would be up there working, and they'd be like, "How the fuck you get these girls and these women you talk to?" I said, "Hey man, it's that grocery store smile." I said, "Where we go?" But I say I go to the grocery
I
store.
say it every time I hear about it now.
Hey, grocery store smile.
Hell, man, when I go to the grocery store and I'm single, I try to make myself look good, smell good, go looking nice. And man, a girl be standing in the aisle and she be looking like she's trying to grab something. And I just smile at him and I grab that number. What's up? And ever since then, that's what he'd say. I walk in the shop and go, "Give me that grocery store smile."
Especially when we're on a ride. That one out there, Coleman.
damn, that was a good story, Coleman. That was really good. I wasn't sure where that was going.
That was a better encounter than what we had up there on the side of the mountain in West Virginia. Hey, y'all seen anybody else out here?
Oh, God dang. Oh, that.
In the middle of nowhere.
That's another good question bearer story right there.
Yeah.
Now, that was when we went up there and his daughter, she was small, and her son. And we were riding and something happened to the magnet or the flywheel. And we had to keep taking the cover off and tighten, because all we had was an adjustable wrench. We could tighten the nut down on it and we could ride for probably, maybe 5-6 miles and start going,
You have to retighten.
You'd have to retighten it so it would fire.
Was it Questenberry's kids' bike?
A little Honda 110. So we finally just put one screw in the case cover. So we pull over, we can just take it off one screw. Well, we're messing with this thing right then and there. And I mean, me, him, Robert, and the kids were looking down, and all of a sudden, out of the woods, out of nowhere, 3 freaking hillbillies from West Virginia. I'm talking about had 3 teeth in the top. All 3 of them.
They didn't have no banjo playing, did they?
But they had picks
Yeah.
and shovels
And their little hillbilly
and their little
bags.
hillbilly, and they's like, "You ain't seen nobody else up around here, have you?" I was like, "Oh shit!" I stepped behind the bike. I was like, "Oh shit!" So what it was, they were digging for what?
Ginseng.
Ginseng.
Yeah, ginseng.
Oh.
And they thought, yeah.
They
And,
was up
hey,
there singing.
and I'm telling you, man, they up there ginsenging, and I'm telling you, they kill for that shit.
Yeah,
up there.
that shit's hardcore
Yeah.
up there. That's not the first, or not the only run-in we had with them people. There was another time there where it was just you, me, and Robert, and we,
And they were looking for the root.
yeah, we rode off.
They have a sack of this shit, like, and they were like, "Look at what we got, boy. We get
Yeah.
$100 an ounce for this shit." I'm like, "God, I didn't see nothing. I didn't see nothing."
Well,
Hold
another.
on, back up. What the fuck is ginseng?
That's a root.
It's a root.
Ginseng. It's
Ginseng root.
like what's in your energy drink
Yeah,
and stuff. Yeah.
yeah. It's in. Yeah, it's
The,
You
the,
never heard of it?
the,
Yeah,
Chinese.
yeah, but I'm thinking it's like some drug or like.
No.
I mean,
the root.
Yeah, it's a root, man.
And they dig that shit up, and they have like gallon bags of that stuff, and they take and sell that shit to a supplier to make that stuff.
And see, they've got it figured out, because if you go up and you scalp the mountain and you take all the ginseng, it won't grow back. So if they catch people out there ginsenging on their plot, and they'll come and take all of it, and it won't grow back. And it takes a long time. Like a good sized ginseng root is, it's old. It's way mature. It takes a long time for it to grow.
It's not like growing a pine tree.
Yeah.
Damn, yeah, that's something I've never heard of ginseng growing or any of that kind of
Have
shit.
you ever seen it on those little TV shows?
No.
We
You
took-
don't even have a TV.
I'm not
What you
anymore.
talking about?
But I back when 6 or 7 years ago, I had to watch TV all the time while I wanted to turn it on. I'm like, God damn, man.
Remember, we took that
Should
one
play it all night
trail,
long.
and it dumped us. It took us off the Hatfield McCoys. Remember, and we were on that mountain ridge, and we were lost. We didn't know where the hell we were.
Didn't know where the fuck we were.
Yeah, we're sitting there, and like we got 2 big mountain ridges, and the trail comes in to the mountain ridge and then back out, and we're like,
this way to get out.
yeah,
You can't go up.
yeah,
This way
and
or that.
we're tucked back in, like in the corner, trying to figure out, which is going to be the best way by lookout and everything. And I'll be damned, 2 guys come walking out of the woods right behind us. Same setup. Y'all seen anybody else out here? And I was already digging through my bag, so I got my hand on
On
the
the
gun. Like, no, it's just us. How y'all doing?
Did you hear like
In my head, yes, I did.
They didn't have no
Yes.
cross or damn
But-
compound bows, did they?
But I mean, they didn't want any trouble.
No.
You know, they didn't.
Just making sure y'all wasn't hunting or ginseng.
That's
Yeah, that's
It
it.
is riders. We're riders. That's
Yeah.
it.
Once they figured out, they didn't want no trouble.
Yeah. No shovel, no picks.
No, not those two.
so? But if they discovered you were hunting their ginseng, was that the end of you?
Who
Probably,
knows?
probably, yeah.
Probably.
Jeez.
That kid's in the middle of nowhere.
Well, they'd be down one of those mines up there.
So I'm gonna try to rotate out some stories that I've taken notes on. So Tyler, you messaged me about you want to talk about your first hard enduro at Gary Barr's house in Alabama.
Alabama.
Yeah, that was a fun race. That was my first hard enduro that I ever did, and I didn't race the gold class. I raced the silver class because I didn't know what to expect. It was my first hard enduro. I wasn't gonna jump in balls deep. So
Never jump in balls deep.
no, I
No.
didn't jump in balls
Yeah,
deep.
you end up
no.
with a 2-pump chump.
Yeah,
Okay, we come back from
2-pump jump wasn't with you though, was he?
yeah, he was actually. We're
Oh,
gonna come
really?
back to this.
Yeah.
So.
Oh,
So it's Robert Questenberry and Coleman, and three amigos. We're up in Alabama at Gary Barr's place. It was the first time he held the enduro there, and I gave it my all. And I think there was like two people in my class. I got first place, but I had a great time. It was fun, hanging out with everybody after the race. Well, that night, we get settled down and we're all in the camper, in Robert's camper. And Robert had a toy hauler. So me and Coleman have cots in the back set up on each side. And we're settling down, doing our campfire moto stories in the camper,
Nice.
talking shit,
Nice little plug.
talking about, the race and whatever. And then we all drift out. Well, about 2 hours later, I wake up and my entire body is cramping. So my first reaction is to walk it off. Whenever you cramping, you usually walk it off. I jumped straight up out of that cot and got stiff as a fucking board and just plopped over like a 2x4
Well,
on
your
top of
hamstring?
my whole body, everything. My arms locked. I mean, I was.
Did you know what to do?
I couldn't do
Look
nothing.
like one of them Billy goats. And fucking
Yeah, I
deer.
was like a fainting goat. Yeah.
But did you know what to do to get rid of it?
Well, that's what I'm getting to. So I stiffen up and I just fall like a 2x4 right on top of Coleman. And I'm screaming, help, help. And Coleman wakes up. What the fuck, man?
I
Get
said,
off
what
of
the
me.
fuck are you doing on top of me, motherfucker?
And I'm like, I can't move. I can't move. Rub it, rub it. And he's like,
Robinson, fucking.
yeah, right.
Run what, motherfuckers? What y'all got going on?
Make sure his dick's still in his pants.
Run, get off me, fucking kid.
So, and I couldn't move. Like I was dead locked. Hurt, yeah, hurting, in pain. Like, help me, Coleman, please help me.
How the fuck? I mean, he was bad.
Yeah,
Oh, it's that stuff.
Please.
I've been in the back of a truck before, come home from a GMCC and get locked up out there.
yeah,
And it was painful.
Yeah.
it was bad.
Oh
But-
my god.
I do remember that race. Sid Lambert, he called me out because they posted pictures, and he's like, "Who is this fucking guy? Why are there so many fucking pictures of him? How many fucking laps did he do?" And Robert backed me up. Robert's like,
He was in the silver class. Relax, Sid.
Relax, Sid.
he's like,
He didn't beat you. It's okay.
And Robert was just cold blooded with that shit, boy.
yeah. But yeah, Sid jumped all over. Who is this fucking guy? How many laps did he do?
He was in the silver class. It's okay. He didn't beat you.
Oh fuck, that's right. All right, before we get too further into any other studio or into other stories. Ah, oh man, just go pee.
We're gonna take they come in here for an hour and a half.
We're about to do live calls. I got people messaging me like,
Hey.
I want to call in
Oh,
live.
you called it earlier though about the potty breaks. I mean,
Yeah,
you knew it was coming.
All right, so we're gonna do a little plug. We're doing a plug right now. Go take a piss if you need.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right,
Go ahead,
block the
Papa.
fucking cameras.
Yes.
Go ahead, Paul.
Next segment. Okay. Check out this Japanese. Also, Hard Knock.
Let's go.
All right, we're back. Had to pay some bills. Anybody listening? HKR, Anthony Miko, and Joe. I don't know if you've got a chance to listen to the first show. Joe was hell, he called in on the last show too. But the first show, Chicken Shit Joe. It's a good dude, good part of good people. Take care. Hell, if you're sponsoring awards and shit or doing races, I highly recommend them. Like their awards are awesome. All right, so we'll see if anybody's gonna call in while we're doing this show right now. So while we're waiting for some call-ins, we talked about the first costume shooting. You know what, Mike? Somebody told me to ask you about hitting a fucking deer on your GS.
Oh yeah.
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 It was January, maybe?
Was it that recent?
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to work. It's about 10 till 5. Pitch black. Crossed, I don't know what river it is. Maybe the Alcovey. I think it is the Alcovey. I don't remember whatever creek it is. I crossed it. As soon as I crossed it, I saw a deer. And before I could even put on the brakes, one hit me. Of course, it was straight away. Probably running 80. I don't know how fast I was going, but I was probably running about 80. That's about my normal speed through there. And it just kind of, I'm like, what the hell? But I felt it went right underneath my rear wheel and it kicked me up. I just gassed the throttle. And then as soon as I felt it was gone, I slowed down a little bit. I looked down, I was still running about 70. I zigzagged a little bit. I said, hell, it feels fine. There's no need me stopping. I kept on trucking, rode to work. I got to work. Well, I Snellville, and I got a lot of red lights. And I heard my fan running. Damn, that's weird. And it was still pretty cold, but I never smelt any radiator. And I could tell my boot and my, had on climb pants.
Yeah,
All that was wet, but I thought it was blood from where the deer splattered. And I figured, hell, I'll just go to work, hose it off, be done. I get over there and it's freaking, it busted a radiator. It busted a bunch of shit.
I remember because pictures, there was fur and shit all
So
over.
I heard that you hit that fucker so hard the fur was wedged in between the
Between the tire
rim
and the wheel.
and the tire. They had
It
to take
was.
the tire off the rim to get the fucking fur out.
A freaking, the GS never, it was a quick flinch and it went under the rear wheel and it kicked it up, but it happened so fast. I'm like, damn, I never even hit the brakes.
If you'd have been slower, 45, 50.
Well, if it would have hit the front, it hit me in the side.
Yeah.
It ran right into the side of my wheel. And then it went right under the bike.
Damn.
But it had to hit it pretty good because it busted the little
The fender
fender,
out front, all that.
it busted the beak. It busted the one that sits right over the tire. Busted all that stuff around the.
Campfire Moto Stories.
It busted a lot of stuff. I couldn't believe when I got to the shop. I looked at it. I was like, oh my God. So I'm at the shop and I'm like, well, hell, I can't ride it home. It's going to be hot in the afternoon. It wasn't hot, but it was hot enough I didn't need to ride it home. So called Mom. I said, you think you can drive my truck? So I hit a deer. I need you to pick me up. She goes, are the keys here? And I said, yeah. He says, sure. So, of course, I had to she's been there before. My dad worked there, and I had to talk her into the complex, but she came pick me up. I put it in the back of the truck, drove it home. That's how I got my old GS back.
How many miles you got on it now?
Over 140.
Jeez.
Had 113 on it. Stuff started happening to it, and me and Bobby worked out a deal. I swapped up for another one. Put 24,000 miles on it in 10 months, and then somebody traded another one in. We worked out a deal on that one.
Nice.
And I put 70-something thousand miles on it, and they hit the deer on it. Then I got that one back, and we'll try to put another 100,000 on it.
Nice. So I turned my phone lines on while you were talking and sharing that story, Mike, and we got somebody on the phone. Who do we got here? Hello? Mark.
Hello, you're live on the air.
You're live on Campfire Moto Stories. What the fuck? That's weird, because when I could hear him talking a second ago.
I didn't hear him.
I heard
Yeah.
a little something.
Yeah. Literally, I heard him talking.
From my buddies?
Can you hear us, sir?
Hello?
Oh, there he is. He forgot to turn us off mute. Dumb fucking son of a bitch. Hey, who do we got here? Oh, he fucking hung up. Let's see if I can get him to call back.
Who was it?
Mark Anthony.
Sorry about that.
Oh,
Try
no
again,
shit.
caller.
Not the Latin,
I know Mark
You know,
Anthony.
not that
dude
Mark
that
Anthony.
Sings with Shakira.
Yeah. No.
No.
No,
Mark
it was
Anthony,
J-Lo.
Mark Anthony.
Wasn't he married to J-Lo at one point?
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
That Mark Anthony.
Yeah,
one.
that Mark
I know
Anthony.
which one you're talking about.
No, this guy.
There
this
he
is the one.
goes.
Cherokee Cop.
Hey, can you hear us?
You still got that camper for sale?
No, he sold the camper.
Damn.
I can hear him in the background. Say, Mark, you like popsicles?
He lives way down in the
Yeah,
country. He don't
dude.
have a good signal.
I can hear talking.
Oh, go adjust your satellite and
Not
call us
working.
back.
I can
apparently
hear him say
me,
it.
but I
This is
can't
not
hear you.
working. You can't hear us?
Well, how's he gonna answer that if he can't hear us?
Well, hey, how about now? Mark, can you hear me now? I had to change all kinds of setting getting this new setup so we could have all four of us on. And then
Can you guys hear me?
yeah, we can hear you.
No, not at all.
What's funny is I can hear us
I can hear
talking
us
in
from
his
before.
phone
I
from
can
the
hear my
background.
wife.
Yeah, from before.
So whatever he's
We all
listening
Got a
to,
delay.
yeah, he's got to have some kind of delay. That's weird. All right, he hung up again. Anyways, we'll keep
Can you
talking.
blame him?
Maybe something's going on with the phone.
Technical difficulties.
There's somebody else that was wanting to try again or trying to call in. So let's see if this one works. If not, I'm just going to have these live callers just go on to the next one. Maybe I'll give them like 2 points, two entries into the bike for attempting. You know, it's not their fault that the shit's all fucked up.
I thought that's why I came was because I won the bike.
No,
That's
Oh.
the R.
I'll take it. Put it in the Trans Am.
just strap it to the
Throw
hood
it
or
on
just...
the back. Hell, if we're gonna do it,
Throw it across the back of the GS.
that looked good, wasn't it?
Hey, what was that guy that showed up at all the national enduros? Had the big long chops, brought his bike. He had an old Chevy Lumina. He took the freaking back.
Oh, I
You
got
know
a
what-
picture of that guy
Yeah.
with the husky.
Yes, and he would take the shit off, take the rear wheel off every time he pulled the front wheel up in the son bitch. He took it off and he had that shit sitting in the back of that Chevrolet Caprice like that. And he all the natural enduros. He was probably 65, 66.
Yeah.
Long
Priorities.
chops like this right here, gray hair.
Where was he from?
I want to say Louisiana.
America.
America.
America?
He's
America.
actually from his mom.
Other that.
Oh,
Yeah.
But you know exactly the guy I'm talking about. It was a white
You-
like Lumina or something.
you remember that guy Cleve?
Yeah,
That
and the
had those
KTM
Mercedes.
Mercedes.
Yeah.
He was funny.
He
Oh.
got.
All right,
He-
let's see if this call works. Hey, can you hear us, caller?
No way.
Don't say the name.
Oh, boy.
Can you hear me?
Charlie Murphy.
Caw, caw. That's weird.
Anybody could talk.
All right, so changing out this thing has really fucked up the phone system, obviously, because
Am I?
no, yours isn't even having to do anything with that. You know what? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn on my Bluetooth because I have these guys' phone numbers in here because I don't want to mess up on these stories. So we're gonna let me make sure I can connect. We can do the little Bluetooth thing here. You know, I would feel bad about all this stuff but I listen to plenty of podcasts where they're just like, oh, I don't know what's going on, but at least I've got backups to my fixes. So, no.
You ain't gonna believe this. I ain't ever even listened to a podcast.
No, I'm almost positive of that. None of us are surprised, sir.
You should watch some Joe Rogan.
That's the dude used to be a fighter.
Yeah.
Let's see.
He got podcasts.
Yeah. They just sit around and get high and talk about stupid stuff.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
I can. We can hear you.
Yeah.
Well, how about that?
Yeah. Let's see if I can turn up your Bluetooth thing since you're connected to my phone. Okay, so I heard through the grapevine that somebody wanted to call in as a mystery man. That's why I said don't say his name because it popped up. And drop some shit on us. So go ahead, mystery caller. What do we have here?
So I have heard through the grapevine of off-road racing that the infamous, loved and hated Caleb Russell is leaving his beloved ATM team and going to Yamaha to race XC1 next year and help them potentially develop a 350.
Oh. So as I was traveling with unmentioned named people up to the Charlotte SMX, even though that motherfucker got food poisoning and threw up in the bleachers around us.
Oh, God.
So yeah, he
Under the bus.
he mentioned something like a well-known off-road racer apparently is going to a different team for that. So you're saying you've heard, now this was at GNCC's, like what, how true do you think this story is?
I have very, very trusted informants telling me these things.
So it's kind of funny to hear that because about 2 months ago, I don't remember what podcast I was listening to. May have been like Steve Mathis or may have been the Vital guys, but they were talking about how there's some big news going to drop from Yamaha soon. And I honestly figured it was going to be electric bike. But hearing you say that, I'm putting two and two together and I'm like, oh. So you have a trusted source that is saying Caleb Russell?
Sources, multiple
Sources. Caleb Russell is supposed to go to Yamaha to race or develop a 350.
To race confirmed XC1 ride. I think it makes sense if he's going there that he is going to develop a 350. He was pretty instrumental in developing the KTM 350 back when those first started.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So it makes sense for Yamaha to shell out whatever they're paying him to do that.
What are your guys' thoughts on that? Plausible? Not plausible? Dude's full of shit.
It'd be
Dude
cool.
doesn't know how to tighten bolts on his bike and parts fall off?
Yeah, right? And half the class runs
Doesn't-
over.
Yeah, but he don't have to work on a bike.
Oh,
All he's got to do is ride it.
we fucking with the collar.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
I think it'd be cool as shit.
It would be. Honestly, what's funny because I have sources that I know within Yamaha. I can't say who, but they've talked with other people, and basically they're kind of like, we're worried that the 350 is going to take away sales from the 450. And it's like, yes, it might. Because
Who gives a
honestly,
shit?
I would buy a 350 over a 450 because then I could use it for woods. I could use it for moto. Just switch suspension out. Have different sets of suspension. $1,000, right?
Just have two of them.
So, or get two of them. One for moto, one for woods. But here's the reality. You're going to steal people from KTM.
There it is.
Because a lot of people don't like KTMs. They like Yamahas, but they like the 350s, so they sacrifice that to go to the 350s. Like, I could think of 10 to 15 friends right now that would drop a KTM, go to Yamaha if they made a 350.
It's a very easy bike to ride. I mean,
It's an awesome bike.
it is. I mean, you can
They're like,
they're so easy to ride. You can ride it hard.
dude, I've
just
been
easy.
ever since 16.
Yeah, you've been on
Ever since 16, that's all I've wanted to drive.
Yeah, because I think 2011 is when they made them, right? 10,
Yeah.
10, 11, 9, somewhere around
And they
there.
were, but when they first developed them, they had to rev them high in the RPM range to get them to make power. But they finally got them to where they deliver power down low and everything. And I mean, they got
Well, see,
Dude, I love them.
I think it's good for Yamaha that Yamaha's waking up a little bit, because how much makeup can you put on that pig? I mean, honestly, you haven't done anything except take your same base and add makeup to it. So redesigning and coming out with a new bike is a great idea. I think it would be great, because right now, what's the difference in a 2005 YZ250 and a 2000 or in a 99? You know,
Talking about YZ250 or 450?
YZ, just a two-stroke. I mean,
you got different color rims on them.
exactly. So the R&D has been lacking for a long time up there, and now if they're going to come out with
but we're
that,
talking apples to oranges. That's
Yeah,
two
so
stroke to
totally
4
different.
stroke.
well, no, but what I'm saying though is, all they have is their 250 and their 450. Why not come out with a 350? Why not introduce to the market?
Well, they got
Like
everything
you
else
said,
already anyway.
Yeah.
yeah. So
It is going to start a development war.
yeah. So
That's what
that's
what
what
they
I'm saying.
They started it with a 4-stroke.
Yeah, I was going to say, Yamaha's done great at expanding and like taking chances, better than a lot of other people, because they came up with the 4-stroke first. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're the ones come up with the 350 first. But I now also feel like at that point, once somebody from fucking Japan does it, then the other brands will follow suit.
Oh, yeah.
Probably not Suzuki, but
yeah, but instead of 350, it'll be like a 370 or something. Honda.
The trick is going to be for them, I think, is going to be the same thing that KTM and them ran into when they developed it. Is trying to get that 350 motor to run like everything else. But you can bet your ass that they done bought every competition's bike, and done tore it down, mic'd everything, looked at everything, and they'll probably do something like that. But I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah,
I think it'd be great, because I like Yamaha. I like Yamaha bikes, and as you said, people would dump KTM. I mean, I like my 300 KTM. I mean, that's for me the best versatile all around bike for how I ride.
Yeah.
But if they did come out with Yamaha came out with a 350, I might be interested in something like that. If all you have on the menu is that 450,
I got a 250.
Well,
it's badass too.
Yeah, you shouldn't ride something that the same CCs is as much as you weigh. Okay.
That is true.
I almost squished that cricket.
I only weigh 160 pounds.
Well, I weigh a good bit more than that. So, me on a 250, yeah, no.
You need a 300 to pull.
Yeah, and I don't want a 450 to wear my big ass out.
I had one for that. Remember that Honda CRF 450 I had?
Oh yeah, fucking wear your ass out.
Yeah, so a nice nimble little 350 would be great. More options, the better.
Yeah.
I've been waiting on the Japanese bikes to do something like that.
Well, caller, do you have any other stories or things to add before we hang up with you?
I think it's also important to add that Caleb is currently KTM's contracted trainer. You got to think about how many people it screws over as well for him leaving that position.
Well, that's
all the guys already know how to train. Shit, they'll survive.
Yeah, it's
There's
From the
plenty
guy.
of trainers
Fuck
around.
it. It's fucking right.
There's plenty of trainers around. They'll survive.
There's always somebody better than you. They'll find them.
Yeah, KTM will. They'll still. They'll survive without him. I mean, he's great. He's great, but don't get me wrong. But they're gonna survive without him. No problem.
All right, sir. Well, we're gonna end this call. We're gonna try calling this other guy that tried to call in. So thank you for sharing that information. And if anybody
Yeah, we'll
comes
wait
after
and
me
see if it comes
for
true.
legal reasons, I'm gonna give him your number. Okay, bye. Love you. All right, let's call the other guy that was trying to call in. Thank you for sharing that information. And if we'll wait for you. Sir, can you hear me?
I sure can.
But you're gonna have to turn down the Campfire Moto Stories in the background because we're hearing us talk again.
All right, is it better now?
Yeah.
Make sure that shit doesn't see that. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, we're good.
Man, that was exciting news. I'm a massive fan of a 350, and if Yamaha could come out with something like that, I mean, I'm ready to put a deposit down.
You see, everybody.
You're
wants
already
one.
a Yamaha rider, though.
Yeah, he already.
But I'm also a bigger guy like Tyler, you know.
You're
and
not that
I
damn
take a
big, are you?
250.
Yeah, I should go ahead
No.
and say we got Mark Anthony, J-Lo's Latin lover, on the phone with us right now.
Well, I got Jen sitting right here beside me.
You
Hey,
got taco
Jim.
flavor kisses.
That was good. That was damn good.
Marky wants some taco flavor kisses.
I want some tacos. I love tacos.
But yeah, you take a stock Yamaha 250 and you put a big bore in it. You got a pretty good bike.
Have you
But
got a big
imagine
bore
if
in
they
yours?
had three-
Yeah, he does.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's a 270, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but what
Imagine
And
what
it's
a
good.
350 would be
Well,
like for you. You had a KTM 350. You know, it would be awesome, wouldn't it?
So the only reason I got a KTM was because of that 350 back in 2013. That's
Yeah.
a heck of a bike.
Has it been that
from a
long?
250.
Damn.
Yeah.
I remember riding that bike.
I think they came out in like 2011 or so, but
Yeah, that's what
2013 was the first
we were
year
just
that I
talking
got
about that. I think
Is that
that's
the one I
about right.
rode down at Millersville?
it. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
But this-
Yeah,
this
because I
guy
still was
here,
riding Yamaha.
He'd buy
That was
anything.
before I got on the 350. Yeah, those things are definitely, I love mine. But
So,
I
so
hear
caller,
what you're saying. If you could get one, you'd be in heaven, wouldn't you?
I would be pretty happy. That Yamaha suspension with a 350 motor,
Mhm.
that'd be a great machine. But I was gonna leave it up to Anthony. Do you want to talk Charlotte or do you want to talk a terrible crash story?
I want to talk both. All right.
Sounds greasy.
So I wasn't planning to go into Charlotte SMX, but I have a hookup where I can get some tickets. And they were talking about it in our little chat. And they were like, who's going to Charlotte? Anybody? Derek Gravitt was. He started it. And Mark's like, I'd love to go. And Brandon's like, oh, I'd like to go too. And I was like, I don't really plan to go, but I could get some free tickets. And this fucking, yeah, we'll fucking drive your ass there if you fuck get us tickets. So
I want to go.
sent an email and got us some tickets. So we hooked up, drove together. Actually, so I pulled the e-brake into the QT where we met Derek and Mark at. It scared the shit out of Derek. What was it? He
That
said,
was
Mark?
so funny. We're standing there, and he like fucking Derek jumped like somebody just shot at him. Like he about shit his pants at 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Or
So
6:30 in
I
the
have a
morning.
beer in my hand. It's not open, but I literally lock the e-brakes down, slide next to the guys, and I'm looking at them like, "Hey, what's up, fucking guys? Let's go!" And yeah, Derek goes. We see him mouthing, "What the fuck?"
Is he still rocking a mullet?
Yeah, he's still got a mullet.
Derek
So-
looked at me and he goes, "This is gonna be a long fucking day."
I love it.
Because
So-
we're taking his wife's car that he's
Derek's
terrified
brand new
is gonna
wife's
get
car,
fucked
yeah.
up and stick it. Brand new
And he's
car.
like, none of y'all can throw up in the car. So we make a deal like whoever throws up first has to pay for car detailing. And then so we started working out the details on the way there. Like, okay, if we throw up in the car, whoever just throws up first, like, what's the deal? So yeah, we get there and we go to walk.
We
in the-
clarified if you throw up outside of the car, you are okay.
Yeah. So whoever
We
threw
are
up in the
okay.
car had to pay for the detailing. All right, so I'm trying to shorten this story as much as I can. So we walk to the gates with all of us having cooler backpacks on because we read in Charlotte that you could bring a cooler in. So they're fucking loaded with beers. All four of us have fucking
Nope.
coolers. Yeah, get to the gate and the guy's
Nope.
like, nope. We're like, fuck.
Nope.
So we have to go walk all the way back to the fucking car. We hitch the fucking golf cart rides. They're shotgunning as many beers as they can to get in. So obviously we have a good buzz going in. 2-3 hours go by. I'm not going to say how or what the name is, but I had a way to get us into a hospitality tent to get us food. So we get to the hospitality tent. We're all eating. We all eat the same sandwiches, right? All four of us. So another 2 hours go by, and Mark's had 2 more beers between eating. Like, not a lot, right?
Yeah.
And this is, Mark, what was it? The start of the 65 moto that it happened?
Yeah, it was like 450's just finished.
And we just
Because
hear,
like I got up and walked the grandstands to like try and get that far end of the track. Like I tried looking at all that stuff
oh, to like
and
help
like
the
I went and sat back
nauseousness.
down.
Yeah, so
No, it was before. I felt fine at that point.
all right, so we look. Brandon and I, Thompson, we're sitting there, and we look over and see him with an empty water bottle, vomiting into the water bottle, filling
In
the
all
thing
of his
up.
hands.
And what's funny is our whole row, everything around us was packed. Right, there's all kinds of girls. We're actually making smart ass comments. Actually, I just remembered there was a girl in front of me that was texting somebody about cocaine. I took a picture of the text and sent it to
Yes.
the guys. It was like, do they do cocaine? I was
That's
like,
great.
holy shit, Zoom, snip. So, yeah, but needless to say, these fucking early 20 girls are just
I like to party.
terrified. Fucking, from that point on, we had the row in front of us, the row inside of us, the row back to us, and we had all these fucking chicks would just side eye Mark. Like you could just see him looking over side eye him like this motherfucker. And yeah, so but I'm looking at him.
The worst part was going from 100% feeling just great, just happy to be there, watching the race, having a great day. All of a sudden, I just start profusely sweating and have this rush that comes over my body that like
The heat
I'm
wave.
about to,
Mouth start watering.
Yeah,
I'm about to
so-
lose the world.
Yeah. So I look over at him and I know the details. I'm like, he's not drunk. He's not vomiting from being drunk. And I see sweat pouring down his side, and I'm like, that's food poisoning. This dude's got food poisoning. Oh fuck.
He just happened to buy
We
the
all ate
bad
the
sandwich.
same thing. He's got food
And
poisoning.
we're
I'm
way up
next.
at the top of the grandstands.
Yeah, we're at the very top in like the landing of the rhythm section coming back. So I'm sweating a little bit because I've had food poisoning enough where it hits me hard. So we start, once Mark throws up profusely on the ground into the bottle, everything's okay. I start like asking him like, what happened? What'd you eat? He's like, I ate the same thing you did. So what did we finally figure out, Mark, was the culprit?
So I go, so a little further, a little backstory that you guys don't all know. You know, after I got sick in the grandstands, you know, I left. Like I dipped downstairs. I was going to go clean up. While I'm walking down the grandstands, I'm feeling okay. I get about to the bottom step, kind of walking across that long platform over to the bathrooms, because luckily the bathroom's right out from under us. It hits me again. Dude, I start sprinting. I barely get the door halfway cracked, and it's coming out again. It's all over the floor. I'm pretty sure Anthony took a picture and asked me about it. I was like, no, I didn't do that.
The picture, and I said, "Was this you?" And you
sure
said
did.
no.
Oh.
Hell no, I wasn't. No.
He wasn't
I already
admitting
felt shitty enough from all the other shit I had dealt with. I was about to take credit for that one, too.
Was it projectile?
Yes.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, my God. With distance.
But we
So
never
then
figured out what it was.
that was on,
No. What was it?
Yeah, we did. So I get to the toilet. I get, I'm still going. It's nonstop. I mean, the sandwich, the bread, the tomato, the lettuce, I see it all. But then I turn around, and it's coming out of the backside, too.
Oh, no.
Hey,
So I'm
you know
doing
the
the
process with
360.
that. It's vomit, poop, flush, repeat. Don't poop, vomit, flush. You don't want to mix that.
Well, luckily, I was able to get out all the vomit, and then it started coming out the backside. But then as I'm washing up at the sink, I'm like, fuck, man, what the hell? What the hell? And it hit me. I was like, we sat there and had that catering food, and there was this little green sauce stuff, because there was no mustard, no mayonnaise, no ketchup, but there was this green sauce you could put on the sandwiches.
Avocado sauce.
Avocado crema or something like that.
Put that
sitting
on his.
outside in a 90-degree day. Why the fuck did I pick the crema?
Yeah. Never again.
And so to make the story even better, I go to a work trip the next week, and on Wednesday they send me the catering menu, and they're like, hey, pick your, we have meetings all day in home office, and they're like, here, pick what you want. And I'm like, I'm not eating that place. I'll eat anywhere else. I'm not eating that place.
Yes, it was catered Panera bread.
It was the same place.
Yeah.
That catered that.
Yeah, same place. Yes.
Yeah,
And
so
that was
pretty
Wednesday.
wild.
The Sunday, it was too close.
I'll be hungry today.
All right, so do you want to call in another time and share the crash story, or are we going to go for this now since your wife's there with you?
I got a pitch for you. We'll talk about it later. So let's save that one.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We'll pitch that one.
We got a better idea.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Well, you go say hey to J-Lo, and we'll talk to you next
To
time.
the Slim J-Lo.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. See you, bud.
Later.
Bye. Oh, and the first guy. I got a story. Fuck him. Fuck. All right, we're gonna rock through some of our other categories and some other stuff. Let's see what's next. Maybe take a break. I gotta take a leak. And see how much longer it takes, normal
Y'all
age
talking
guys
about
to get there.
the old guy over here.
Whatever, iron ass.
Iron ass. All right, so we're gonna take a little break. I actually last Tuesday my uncle was up in town visiting, and I was like, "Come up and check out the studio." My mom was with him, so I actually set him down and I got him to put the headphones on. I had all the cameras on; they didn't know it, and I fucking hit record and was like,
Nice.
"All right, tell me some stories about this." So we got some
Nice.
funny ass stories about my grandma. So we'll take a break. You guys can come back and listen to it or whatever, but. Yeah, if anybody, and I think I said this in it, if anybody's trying to put together the pieces of the puzzle of why I'm such a fucked up individual, you're going to have a little better insight into that. So here we go. Okay. So I got my mom, Elaine Bennett, and her brother, Keith Gaines, in studio. They're visiting from Havana, Florida. Keith is. And there's a real funny story about their mom, my grandmother, with what bike was it that she was on?
Yamaha 80.
Like a
It was
YZ?
50.
No, little mini thing. It's no bigger than Brailers. Just
Thought it was a Yamaha 50.
I always heard the story it was a 50, like
yeah,
a
yeah,
that's
Yamaha
right. Yeah,
or
it was a
something
little
like that.
50. That's what it was.
Yep.
It was a little 50.
I mean, hell, what year is this? We're talking
Well, yeah,
early
we're
80s?
talking talking 81, 80
Okay.
around. And so we're over at my warehouse I had, and Mom had dropped by to check things out, see what was going on. I'd been working on this. It was for my brother-in-law Tim, and he was going to take it to his son Timmy, that was
Oh,
young
yeah,
at
yeah.
the time.
Okay,
So,
yeah, I never knew that part of the story. It was
Yeah.
for Uncle Tim.
so I got it all fired up and running and everything, and I'm buzzing around through the warehouse complex, and it's asphalt. Got buildings here on each side, and it's just we're down at the dead end, and I come back around there, and Mom, I'm like, well, here, Mom, get on it and ride this thing. She's like, oh yeah, can I get on and ride this thing? Sure. This is gas over here. You just throttle it when you want to stop. Just twist your hand back and pull the clutch in over here. So she hops on this thing, and Mom, she's knee high to a grasshopper. She ain't but about
Yeah.
4'6", 4'7",
Yeah,
whatever,
at most.
So she jumps on this thing, and of course, her cheeks are hanging off the seat on both sides, and so she rips into it just full throttle and lets out and takes off, and I'm like, oh my God, here we go. So I latch onto the handlebar, and I'm like, let go, let go, let go. Of course, she's busting up laughing by this time, and we're going, and we're headed to the wall of the next warehouse over here. And finally, we ended up going down.
So
And she-
her version of the story is you're yelling at her to let go,
Right,
and
right.
you're screaming at her, "I'm not holding on!" So
Yeah.
because she is just full stop,
Right.
whiskey throttled that thing
Right.
locked in.
Well, the reason she couldn't let go is because I had my hand on her throttle hand, and it wouldn't, and she couldn't let go.
So it was your fault.
It was my fault. I couldn't, but she was laughing so hard too, and it was a mess. Just thankfully, we were able to get up from it. We wasn't all beat up and stuff, but we laughed for that.
Yeah.
It was
Of course,
Just-
I've heard that story so many times
I
at
know.
Thanksgiving and other stuff that I was like, I got to get that one told.
a fun time in life.
Yeah. Put this up to your mouth a little bit more.
Yeah, she could get into some stuff now, I'm telling you. I'll tell you the other one about what I had up in the windowsill if you want to do that.
Yeah,
one too.
sure. That was pretty funny.
Well, back in the day, I smoked a little weed, and
This is the 70s.
yeah, this is the 70s.
You were still in the
and
high school, is my understanding.
high
of it.
school stuff, and I got my plants growing up in the windowsill, and water them, and next thing I know, Mom's watering my plants for me every afternoon, and till one day I come home, and she's, Keith, you need to get rid of that stuff there up in the windowsill. You got marijuana growing in there. I go, what, marijuana? You mean the marijuana plants? She goes, yeah. She says, I've been watering these things all this time for you, and you growing marijuana? Of course, she didn't know what they looked like,
So one of her friends was there
Right.
visiting that day. and she-
Catherine.
Yes, and
Catherine
she's
Watt.
watering the plants.
Yep.
And then
she's watering the plants, and she asked my mom. She says, "Jeanette, you know what you're doing in there?" Well, no, I'm just watering Keith's plants. He said he had tomato plants growing. She said, "Jeanette, those aren't tomato plants. That's marijuana." Well, that was the end of that. My plants were gone, so
ruined.
ruined.
Yeah.
Just wiped me right out.
She couldn't just keep her mouth shut.
No, she
Jeez.
couldn't. No.
Well, since you're on that topic, why don't you tell the people what happened at Kennedy Space Center when you went there visiting when you were in what, 5th grade? I think is the story.
Yeah, I want to keep thinking it was the day before the Apollo 13 launch. Is
Oh.
what I keep thinking. And that launch went south, around the back, whatever. We were all in there, and we were all clowns and goofballs. I was 6th grade actually when this happened. So I'm up, and we're getting into trouble, us guys, and we're looking around, and there, and over here behind the palm tree they had up in there, there's the fire alarm. So I latch a hold of it, and the guys are, do it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do this. And as I walked away, well, my finger got hung up, and I pulled the alarm. And so we all just took off, and back then we're wearing penny loafers, and all you're doing in that glass slick floor in that place was slipping and sliding. Looked like a cartoon running around the corners, and you're sliding and slipping, and boom, I bolt off to the movie theater in there, and I open the door, and I dart in straight, and I sit down. Door closes, it's nice and dark in there, and there's a film going, and next thing you know, I don't know, probably 5-10 minutes later, the door opens, and I'm down low in the seat now, and looking, it's like, oh geez, it's a fire marshal, he's a captain, whatever, he's got his hat on, and he comes in, and he comes towards my aisle, and then he hangs a left, then he makes an immediate right and walks in the aisle in front of me. Next thing I know, he leans over and he's talking to somebody. Now he stands up. This woman stands up. She turns around, reaches over the back and grabs me by the head of my hair, which was quite long in them days, and just drags me right on out the door. And the story, I sat down behind my teacher. How ironic is that? So, I get in trouble, had to go sit on the bus. I couldn't get off the bus for the rest of the trip. I think this trip was maybe on a Thursday or a Friday or something. So, following week when we get back to class, of course, I got my ration. Next field trip, I couldn't go on any more field trips. So
I wonder why.
I was always the instigator. Even if I didn't do it, I did it,
Yeah.
But so the morning of field trips, preparation is we had each one of us, there was 36 of us in sixth grade class. Well, we had to pull out a piece of writing paper, sheet, regular 7 by whatever, 10 by whatever.
11.
And we had to rip them all up into just the smallest pieces you could rip that paper up. And she'd come around and scoop it off in a box. Every student, she'd walk over and everybody would clear the room except me. Had the big old shop fans, as you call them now. So she'd turn it up a little bit and all that stuff would get poured on top of it. And she'd flip that baby on high. And it just went from one end of the classroom to the other. And I had to stay behind and pick up every piece of that paper. Yeah. And if she found any when we came back, well, it was double the next trip.
Oh, gee.
So, end of story, that was her.
Well, I know you weren't ever a big racer from ridden a good, and I think you've done a hand.
Yeah.
Funny stories from the back in those days you can kind of think of, or not really?
Not really funny. One trip, we were doing hair scrambles back then, your dad and I.
Yeah.
And I got a hold of one of his, I think it was the 175 Penton. It was an old one. And anyway, we're out blistering the trails for the race on that Sunday, on a Saturday it was. And I just kind of was at the trail, at the back of the pack and just following everybody and going, checking the course out. And I went up, I remember going up and getting on the throttle and got up on a wheel stand. Next thing I know, I hit a mud hole, and of course the bike just slammed down.
Stop, yeah.
And it stopped, and when I went down, my knee slid down the forks, caught the adjusting rod that you used to have to hold on to when you tighten the axle up and shove that rod up under my kneecap.
Oh.
And well, I could say, the old song, 30 days in the hole, that's how long I spent in the hospital with that ordeal.
Yeah, that?
Yep. Well, it got infected.
Oh, mud and all the other stuff.
And it didn't even poke a hole in my jeans. Nothing. It just pushed it right up through there. And then when I fell off, it twisted. So I had to maneuver myself back around to pull that thing off of there, my knee off of it. And then I had to bump start it, one-legged, because the kickstart was, I couldn't do it. So I had to get it up in the gear, and I just kind of hobbled along there, and it bump started for me, and I side saddled it, got out on the road, and went back to the pits, and got to the hospital. Paramedics take care of this guy. Of course, they had to cut my jeans. It was already, swelled.
Pair of jeans.
So it was quite an ordeal. That they just left me in like 4 hours in pain.
Jeez.
Poor nurse that would she come in to get me and tend to me. I'm laying there back and I'm suffering. He just, next thing I know, something just grabbed hold of that leg, and I just come up off the bed with a right hook and I knocked her out flat on the floor. And then I went to, the foul language was hitting the room really good. They all come down there. They paid attention to me then. Needless to say, it was funny. About 4 or 5 days later, the president of the hospital comes up there and we're talking. Well, how's everything going, Mr. Gaines? And so, well, I guess you know everything that went on down there in the emergency room, and this, that, and the other. He says, yes, sir, we do, and we're sorry about all that. And I said, the thing you're gonna be sorry is if you send me a bill. I said, you'll be sorry then.
Well, hey,
that was the end of
one
it.
way to get out of paying a bill. Just got to punch a nurse in the face. I
Well,
don't think that'd work nowadays.
It led more to that. And, they paid me. Let's put it that way. So, but anyway, yeah, I had some good days back then. Riding with your dad and the rides. The hair scrambles, and it was a blast. Really, I wouldn't try.
I still do too stupid to quit because it's such a damn good time.
Yep. Well, I like the 4-wheel stuff now.
Big
Go-kart
into
racing.
go-karts,
I can. I get ejected. Yeah, I'd rather down on the seat, off the ground.
Yeah,
going at it. It's fun.
I want to get in one of those at some point. Get me in.
Definitely.
What about you, Mom? Any stories you want to tell from back in the day, in the early days of riding? Got Bonnie stuck in a tree.
Yeah, her first ordeal. On matter of fact, I think that same Penton I crashed on. Ask her out there.
Oh
when
yeah.
you were
The first time she was ever
pregnant with
riding.
Bonnie?
No.
Her first ride.
Bonnie was, Bonnie's first birthday.
Okay.
Right. So you're Gima Bonnie and Pop Shelby.
And I should add that
kids were all
Bonnie is
there.
my older sister. She's 7 years old. So.
And so we were all there at your dad's race. And when he was in between his breaks, he says, "You want to ride it?" So brings the Penton over and cranks it up. Got all the cars lined up like this, and a truck like this, and a van like this. Puts me right behind this van for me to take off. So, and he didn't teach me nothing, but here's the gas, here's the brake, and you know how to shift the gear because I showed you how to shift gear. So I went to take off. He didn't tell me to lean. My leg hit the bumper. I went up, ass end up, landed on the
So he didn't
ground
tell
on
you
my
to lean,
shoulder.
so what? You're trying to turn the bike but keep it up?
No, when you go to take
the
off,
bumper of the car.
bumper of the car
Okay, I'm
of
with you.
that truck, that van,
Yeah.
my leg hit.
Okay.
Yeah, so if he would have taught me to lean when I went to take off, I wouldn't have hit it. But broke my collarbone on Bonnie's first birthday.
So yeah, if anybody's like trying to put together the pieces of why I'm so kind of way I am, here's a small piece of the puzzle. These are the people that I was surrounded with. So
There you go.
yeah. All right, cool. I just wanted to get a quick story from you guys since a New Year's town visit. So appreciate it.
Right.
All right.
Good luck, buddy, and them bones stitched together.
I'll try. No promises.
Oh, and watch every week.
Yeah.
Up here now, or then?
No, they're pretty close. Not too long. They were in Canton. So, hey, we're back. All right. So we got a little break. Got to do some other stuff. Took a few pee breaks. And now we're going to go under our next segment.
Now it's time for some awesome tech tips.
Transform your comfort with Innovative Mechanical LLC, specializing in HVAC service for residential and commercial properties. They provide expert installation, maintenance, and repair. Their certified technicians ensure top-notch service, whether it's air conditioning, heating systems, or indoor air quality solutions. Serving Georgia since 1999, they prioritize customer satisfaction with prompt, reliable service at competitive rates. Routine maintenance to emergency repairs. Trust Innovative Mechanical LLC for all your HVAC needs. Give them a call at 770-726-7407 or visit innovativemechanical.llc.com to schedule service and unparalleled comfort today. Actually, Mike, that reminds me. Did you race Burnt Hickory Motocross back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
So Chad, that's where he lives. At the Burnt Hickory Motor. So Chad with Innovative Mechanical LLC. I didn't even think about that.
I could.
Yep. So he's one of our sponsors
You
here.
can't even tell where the track's at.
No, but we did find some really old, like 70s Miller Lite cans and that
Huh?
kind of shit. He and I were walking around the property one day. It was pretty fucking cool.
That's awesome.
So, all right.
That
So
was a cool
the other
track.
day, I was working on some bike in the garage, and from here on, I'm kind of just gonna try to get people to send me cool tech tips, and I'll give you entries into the YZ250 giveaway, or I'll make my own because, I mean, believe it or not, I can actually work on some shit. If you guys, I know. It's
You
kinda
can
crazy.
wrench?
Yeah, I can. So here's two tech tips I put together while I was working on some bikes the other day. Working on a bike this evening. I had a little tech tip I figured I'd share with you. So, ever had that problem where the chain, you just can't get can't get this in because it's just a little too tight? A little awesome trick. Throw a zip tie in her, like that. I was struggling with this bitch. Popped it in. Look at this. Oh, like a glove. Zip tie trick works good. We're on the topic. I'm telling you. Get you a pair of these. These are called Kinpex. Kinippex. Like $90. But the way that they move, and they're smooth. So you can do those right there without screwing them all up. And all kinds of stuff. These things are actually, most cases, powerful enough to remove your axle bolts, axle nut. But, no little trick. Doing O-ring chains, bitch to get these things to seal on there. So if you put if I can get this on with one hand. Get your plastic clip on there. These things put on there really well with this. Really difficult to do. And just whoop, pushes those suckers on real good. Look at that. No problems. O-rings, no issues. So, get you some. Well worth the $90. Made a lot of money and saved a lot of hassle. All right. So we're going to go into the next segment, which is stolen bikes, which I bet you guys have seen this shit recently on Sorks. So this post. Yep. Hold on. You got to move it to the other screen.
Yep.
We're going to open it up. So this poor dude.
Oh, is that the guy who met somebody in Atlanta and they just took off? Yeah, that's.
Oh, he's an idiot, though.
Well,
I mean, I think, are you serious?
Way to put it out there, Crane.
Yeah, hey,
I mean,
just do the laps. Fucking don't ride like a bitch. Fucking good old
I'm
Mike.
serious.
He's an idiot.
My damn horn wasn't working.
I'll take it for a spin and show you where I was, but you ain't getting on to piece of money.
Yeah. Well,
But yeah,
especially in Atlanta.
look, he's not an idiot. What's a better way to word it? He's trusting in people.
Very trusting in people.
So this poor dude, he had a 2019 YZ250F. He placed his Terran song and offered cash if delivered to the house address. A tale as old as time. Yeah, that's what they all fucking say. You cannot, people. This is going to be the premise of my show. I feel like every single time. You do not deliver a bike to somebody.
No,
Okay?
if they want a dirt bike, they have to have means of getting it.
Yeah.
Wherever.
Oh, I don't have a pickup truck. I don't have a pickup truck to come. Then why the fuck you buying a dirt bike? You don't have a fucking pickup truck to buy a dirt bike, okay?
So I can pop Willie's on 285.
So yeah, the comment was like, and he even said he sold a bunch of bikes. Like he had a weird feeling about it, and just was thinking about not putting that much gas in it, but it was too late by the time that he actually did it. So,
well,
and I asked the guy, I said, what was the address that he asked you to meet at? So If somebody in Atlanta is asking you to come to 3733 Brittany Walk,
don't do it.
Near Atlanta, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Because you know what's going to happen?
Car wash.
Fucking shit's going to be a wheelie bike
Car
after
wash.
that.
Next time you see it, it's going to have bald tires.
Did you see the video I took?
They'll have bald tires. They're going to have folks be loose in the damn thing.
All right, we're going to get into our next segment. So this dude, Ken Miller, I was just scrolling through Facebook. Wasn't creeping too hard. I promise. I wasn't creeping too hard. And I ended up seeing this video of this dude's son.
That's
and,
like,
and
that
I
looks
feel
like a place I know.
Huh? Oh, no, that's another video.
Yeah, but
like I said, we might.
That look like that looked like the same place.
All right, so I'm super pumped with this kid's effort because this is a big ass jump before I hit play with it. And you can tell he's on like a Cobra 50, maybe a 65 at best. It's tough to tell with it. But I just wanted to play it because how many times have us gone for a big jump and this was the end result?
Oh, yeah, that's definitely not it.
Wait for it. Boom!
Oh.
And look, you can tell, like, it's his parents in there with the golf cart.
The camera.
Because as soon as the boom, oh fuck,
Like
both the feet
off.
came off the golf cart, and it's up, time to rush to him.
Yeah.
So, I believe the
Pretty
kid.
cool track.
One more reason why Fat Boy don't fly.
Yeah, he wasn't on the game.
But look at the like.
Well, was it impressive
was
for the
doing
65
good,
up there
though.
But look,
in Charlotte?
look at the hit and where he lands next. That's what's really impressive. Not only did he hit the worst part, the absolute worst part of where you could, he bounced and landed flat. So it was as hard as you can, back to as hard as you can.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, oh, this is a good video.
Was the kid jumping the big jump up in Charlotte? Was that impressive to you?
Yes and no.
I mean, it looked pretty big.
I don't want to get into the whole Charlotte kid jumping the jump versus not jumping the jump thing. But essentially...
He seen it.
Yeah, but other kids could have jumped it.
Yeah.
But they were told, if you jump it, you get docked.
Yeah.
And the kid looked like he might have been getting passed soon. So he jumped the jump. The kid in second didn't.
But he wasn't the fastest kid on the track. He was just sending it.
Maybe.
In your opinion.
But honestly, here's the thing. It does... That whole aspect of it doesn't matter. Because you know what people are going to remember? The kid sent it.
Exactly. That's
you know
exactly
what I mean?
I told her.
Like, they will remember that over anything else. That will help with sponsorships. That will help with 5 years down the road
my
where
whole thing.
this is the kid that did
Yeah, he made a name.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Everybody knows that name now.
it doesn't matter if he was about to get passed and that was his
the
out.
kid in Charlotte.
That was a genius. That was a genius move. Really, it
He
was.
seen it.
Yeah.
Kid goes for the bike. Wasn't that one of the little kids on that little 65 or something like that?
Was that a race?
I seen a video of it.
All right, we're going to get this thing rolling. All right, we're going to go into our sent-in stories, which
Hear what they
is
got
brought
to say.
to us by...
Hear what the listeners
These
got to
stories are
say.
brought to you by On-Road Riders. Get on the road safely with On-Road Riders. They offer Georgia-certified training through the Motorcycle Safety Foundation Basic Rider Course on both 2-wheels and 3-wheel motorcycles, enabling you to obtain your motorcycle license hassle-free. Their mission is to instill essential skills for safe motorcycle operation and save lives. You'll learn from certified coaches covering everything from clutch friction zone techniques to obstacle avoidance. They currently have 2 convenient locations, Mountain Motorsports in Conyers and Georgia's Best Fireworks in Villageville. At just 16 years old, with parental consent, you can enroll and upon a successful completion, receive a waiver for your Georgia DDS motorcycle license. Visit onroadriders.com to start riding safely today.
All right, we're back. All right, so I've got 2 really good sent-in stories. I've actually got 3, but I'm going to save one for the next time. So here's the first one. But hopefully everything plays okay, because this is the first whole setup with this audio thing.
So my first name is Scott. I'm not going to say my last name because I don't want anyone coming after me. But if you ever want to see something funny, You get to the starting line at an enduro or a hare scramble, and just seconds before the gun goes off and the starter sends you on your way, you yell out, "Honey, did you remember to put gas in my bike?" If you want to see a full rage panic from half the people on the starting lineup and get the advantage to the first turn, that's what you do. Hope you guys have a good session tonight. See ya.
I don't know. It's a random caller named Scott. But
he's been to the Cherokee hare scramble though. He's talking about the gun going off.
No, so when I was listening to it at first, I thought he was gonna say, because it'll do the 10 seconds. But there's some races they do like a gun. I was like,
Cherokee hare scramble. He's dead now. What was the dude's name? The old guy. He used to stand up there and he shot a 22 off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that was the start.
So I was thinking it was going to be one of those where somebody would do the whop instead of the flag, and that's when you go and hear somebody on the end, like the end of the row, go whop kind of thing to like fuck with everybody to get them to start up.
I've never seen one of those. But the Cherokee, I swear, the Cherokee hare scramble, I used to shoot the gun to start it off.
Yeah.
Every row.
Well, my dumbass would be out there at the 22, like pop, like a little bit early.
Yeah.
James Bransford.
Get you a cap gun.
All right, so this next one is actually my old boss. His whole family is like a second family to me. Before I moved up here to Georgia, I was working for his Cowie dealer that he opened up, which led into the KLX 140 story that we talked about all this. So here's a pretty funny story he sent me about it.
When I was younger, I decided that it would be a great idea to open my own franchise cycle dealership. So although I had an incredibly successful career going in manufacturing, running plastic plants, I decided to take every penny I'd ever made, build a facility, and become a Kawasaki. When we first started, things were going fantastic. It took off. Our first year, we were the number 2 new dealer in the nation and the number 5 dealer in the Southeast. So we had pretty impressive results in a small town in Florida. After a couple of years, and of course being an avid motocrosser, it occurred to me that I really needed to have an aluminum frame KX500. So we set about building one. We took my 06 KX450F and a 94 KX500 and basically started with 2 motorcycles and a whole bunch of money and ended up with one. The first time out, we were all at the track kind of eyeballing the front wheel and would it clear the pipe? And we all looked at it and thought, I think it's going to be okay. I'm at the infamous Dade City Raceway for a Saturday night race as my first ride on this thing. And I go out and practice. And there was a guy that just waxed me every week. Big dude. That was in front of me. And instead of pulling away like he had always done in the past, I was right at it. And then I was putting a wheel in on him in every corner. And eventually got side by side with him and drag raced him down the straight and beat him to the next turn. Well, a turn or two later, in some braking bumps heading into a corner, is when I learned that the front wheel would indeed hit the pipe. And the way I learned this was as the bike pitched me over the bars without me even having a chance at all to react or do anything. And in the process, my throttle hand caught the brake lever on the way over, and the way it wedged in there it broke one of the bones. So now I pick up the bike, head back to the pits where he decided that some modification was going to be necessary. So after whacking the pipe with a sledgehammer for about the next 20 minutes, we got to where we felt pretty damn confident that the front tire would not hit it. Of course, I still had 4 motos to race for the evening, but my hand really didn't feel all that well. Well, went out, whittled my way towards the back of the pack as usual. Did not have the tire hit the pipe anymore, and finished out the night without any more consequences. By the next morning, my hand was pretty damn swollen, but of course, being a dumbass motocrosser, I did not go to the doctor. I said it would be fine. Well, here we are, 20 years later. I've still never gotten that bone fixed. But the good news is that I can tell when the weather is changing because it throbs like crazy.
You know what's funny about that is, like, I hear all the time people talking about, like, the weather, and you can tell it coming. With all my metal, all my broken bones, I can't tell. Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So I hear that all the time from people, but no, doesn't affect me at all. My dad's got a plate in his leg, and he's like, "Oh, it's about to rain." Sure as shit. 30 minutes later, it fucking starts raining.
I don't feel nothing
Yeah.
either.
So yeah, I actually bought that bike from him. It was kind of one of those things where it was like, I don't know how you kind of want to say. You didn't want to let it go out of the family, you know? Like, so he built this thing when he owned the shop, sold it to me. I had it for a bunch of years, sold it to Kenny that helped him build it. That was the one that gave me the Bent It name kind of thing. So, and he actually just 3 months or so ago said that he finally sold it to somebody else. So after all these years, we finally just let it go out of the family.
So it's kind of like a service Honda 500, but it's Kawasaki.
Yeah, but with a Cowie. But dude, I'm telling you, I actually took that thing in the woods with a few buddies of mine, which we were close in speed, and I didn't feel fast. And I said to him, I'm like, man, I don't feel like I'm going that fast on it.
But you're riding.
And my buddy was like, dude, I'm doing everything I can to keep up with you. It's just, you're like, brop, brop,
it's just
brop,
all you can do
brop,
on it.
and then gone kind of thing. So it was a really cool experience. So I don't know if anybody has a chance to ride an aluminum KX 500 or Surface 500, but do it. It actually, I didn't have a beard until after I rode that bike, and then
that's amazing.
And then I got married, kid, like wife and kids,
life changing.
Yeah.
He's full of shit too.
I know.
You got brown eyes? Oh, they're not brown.
Because brown eyes, so I'm full of shit. No, they're still blue.
Yeah.
Even the eyes are lying. All right, so that pretty much wraps up most of my segments. I got in all my plugs. We got to tell a bunch of good stories.
Yeah.
I do have one I can talk about. I said I don't know if I want to talk about it or not because it's a little controversial because it might bring up some stuff. But I was going to tell a story about the last time 2 times ago, I went riding at a track locally. And kind of got some shit from the fucking owner.
That's nothing unusual.
Yeah, so this is Mike Crane's
Notorious.
Load it up.
Stomping Grounds. So what is it popping up? Okay, it is popping up. So this video that I wanted to show was from back does it say the year? 8 years ago. And it's just it's almost like a compilation of just chaos that happened at this track.
Yeah, but I've rode with you there since then.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
But I just, actually, this video, it's nothing to do with the tracks that I'm going to tell the story about. But I know you frequented off it. So 2-3 weeks ago, I'm at this place, and we're all sitting, waiting to go where you're the
staging area.
The staging area. The staging area is, well, if somebody was to land the finish line jump and get squirrely, they could take everybody out, right?
Clean them out.
Yeah, clean them out, right?
No shit.
So he had two 50s, or a 50 and a 65 on the track, and he's like, well, I'm going to let them ride a few more times. I'm going to, lessen the big bikes out there to mitigate the chance of something going wrong. I'm like, okay. He didn't use that word. I don't think he knows what mitigate is.
No, he definitely
But,
don't.
and I said, well, I'm going to go sit in the shade a little bit. So right before you enter the track, there's a tree overhanging. And I was like, I'm going to go sit in the shade. So as I go to pull forward, he is screaming at me, the fuck are you doing? That's on the track. Now there's a banner. We're in the same vicinity. Actually, if somebody got squirrely off the jump, I'd probably have more time to be like, somebody's coming, I'm going to get out the way kind of thing, right? I'm just like, what? Like, I'm confused. So I'm like, okay. So I loop back around, sit in the sun, baking. 20 minutes later, I finally get to go on the track, which is fine. Like, whatever, that's your thing. But he comes over and does this whole, I'm just doing this because, if somebody comes off the track and gets squirrely, they're going to hit you right there because you're kind of on the track. And then I got to go to the hospital with you. And then it's my ass. I'm just like, it's not really how that works. But okay.
Makes you feel better.
Yeah, whatever makes you feel better.
What if it's a helicopter?
So I go and ride the track, and as I get tired, it's 15 minutes into like a 20-minute session. I'm like, okay, time to get off the track. So I'm on the left side of the track. I'm still going 7-8 miles an hour, right? But I'm just rolling the last jump before you get off the track. The next time I go to get out on the track, he stops me, looks at me, he's like, hey, you can't stop on my track. Are you sure you got the right guy? Because I didn't stop on your track. Yeah, I got the right guy. You stopped on my track. You can't stop on the track, man. Those are the rules. And trust me, I've been bitched at by him for stopping on the track because my dumbass ran out of fuel. An honest mistake. It's one of those tracks, and you kind of don't realize how much fuel you're consuming. So I ran out of gas and then learned you don't stop on his track even when you run out of gas. You keep riding your bike when you run out of gas.
Pedal that thing.
Yeah, fucking strider it. Fred Flintstone.
There's no flaggers out there, but if somebody crashes, you don't stop on track. Just hold your hand up, say, hey, there's somebody in the road.
Yeah. So, and I said to him, I'm like, are you sure you have the right guy? Because I did not stop on your track because I know you are big. That's a problem for you. And he goes, well, my idea of stopping on the track might be different than your idea of stopping on the track. And I said, what? He goes, yeah, you rolled that jump at the end. I said, so I was coming off the track, rolling the jump to the left side. He's like, if somebody lands on you, then I got to go to the hospital with you. I said, what the fuck are you talking about? And I had texted like four or five other people, and like 2 of them sent back, no, I'm not going to that track. I have problems with the owner.
It's a never-ending thing.
Yeah,
Tell him, my little brother was just raising Cain.
Oh, boy.
He could hear him. I didn't even have it on speaker.
Yeah, that was the phone call you got right before the show started. But yeah, it's just, it cracks me up, like just the thought process of certain things that go on. And honestly, this track that you don't know of and we don't know of, or whatever, yeah, this is all made up, charges more than anybody else because they need to pay for these things. And it's like, you realize you got to charge more than anybody else because you fucking ran off so many people, right? Like, a lot of people would come back to this place if every time they didn't come, they have an issue.
Yeah.
Makes sense, right?
Yep.
All right. So, yeah, that was just a funny rant that I wanted to get out because I was just like...
It's nothing unusual.
It is nothing
There's
unusual.
a whole bunch of you guys around. A whole bunch.
It's just like, is this real life?
I see it on a regular basis. I'm like...
And the Facebook posts.
Yeah, I don't do Facebook.
I know, but there's
No
updates about upcoming rides and races and that kind of thing. My kid's in kindergarten. He's close to being able to compose a better post.
Yeah, but can he read between the lines and figure out what he's saying?
No, not many people can. Anyways,
I'm getting good at it.
Completely unrelated video. or unrelated track. I got this video from a while back, and it's just an epic shit show of just chaos. So I figured we'd play it a little bit. Maybe we take another quick little break. So enjoy. I'm gonna turn our mics on so we can kind of talk through this shit. Look.
That's the same dude did it, man.
The line before.
Yard sale.
You didn't know him?
No. So I don't know what to do. I'm like, God damn it. Fucks up my line.
Roost.
All right, so this is pretty funny. Dude's obviously like going at a cruise speed. And I'm like, all right, I got to get around this guy. But get it to him. Watch this. Oh, God, I can't let this guy pass me. And then, look at that butt whip. Did you see the butt whip he did? Okay, just go by me.
That was fun.
And then I fuck up.
Got crossroads. And this is just helmet cam footage from one day?
8 years ago, one day. Same day. And I look back and I see there's a kid sitting there. I'm like, yeah, go. Oh, you can hear the clip. No, that was just me stalling it. Oh, there's Joe and Brandon.
Oh, Brandon's been out there? That was a while ago.
I think that was about it. Oh, no. Look. Oh, fuck.
Did you run into him?
No, almost. That was the thing. Like, I jumped the jump, and he was there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really good at looking ahead. He was just there.
Camping out.
Oh, yeah. Look at that one. Oh, fuck.
No stopping.
No stopping on the track. No. This is a different track. This is a different track. Yeah. That's not the same track. Well, that's all the stuff that I got for the show. What other stories do you guys want to talk about? You got any other good stuff you want to hit on? Any fun stuff? The trip to Canada? What do we got?
Canada was awesome. That was a great trip. Yeah, we hit all kinds of stuff. Rain.
It rained a lot.
There was a.
So all three of you were on the Canadian trip.
Yes. There's 5 bikes total, and we're 3 of the 5. We saw some crazy stuff. Me and Crane saw some stuff that nobody else saw.
How they could ride bike and not see it, I
have no idea.
I'm like, you got to be shit.
Like, so we're cruising. We're in Pennsylvania.
No, Connecticut.
We were in Connecticut?
No, we were in Pennsylvania.
No, we were in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know for a fact because I was like, where in the fuck are we? Let's get out of here.
Yeah, we were in
I'm like,
Pennsylvania already.
Get me off this highway because there's a series of events happening that make me feel uncomfortable on this roadway.
Yeah.
So we're cruising along, and there's just some jackass guy weaving in and out of traffic. And I see him jet past us, and the next thing you know, he's jackknife sideways up in front of a semi-trailer truck, and the truck's just carrying him on up. Yeah, pushing him. And
people are jamming on brakes going every which way.
Was he in the car?
Yeah, the guy in the car, he tried to cut off the 18-wheeler, and he clipped him. And
spun him.
Turned him in front of the semi, and the semi was pushing the car sideways down the interstate.
At about 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, in the middle lane. 3 lanes, middle lane. This is happening.
And shit just going every which way.
Shit, just everybody
All over
scattering,
the-
everybody hitting the fucking brakes. So all of us, I look over, we're all checking on each other to make sure we're all okay. But you can see all of us looking forward, looking in our mirror, looking forward, because we're all just waiting on these cars to just cram into the back of us. And we were with a buddy of ours, Bill. He was on a Harley, and we all went to the left. We were in the fast lane. We went over to the left on the shoulder and went around everything. Bill,
he went to the right,
dips off to the right, in between everything. And I mean, it's like
and then pops out the other side. I'm like,
yeah, this is like a scene from Bad Boys or some shit where all these cars are blowing up and stuff on a bridge, and some dude just rides through it on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Like, and we all like regrouped right after it. And like, you good? Yeah. Like that was some crazy shit.
We didn't stop for a second. We kept rolling because
Yeah, we had to get out of there.
Shook up.
So carry on about 2 miles.
It wasn't far.
2 miles down the road, and I see 2 semi trucks pulled over. And you ever seen a deer hit on the road? It makes quite a mess. Well, this deer had clothes on.
Looked like a fat ass with the guts just strode all out. Man, it was still
Everywhere.
attached, and it was strode like from here to your front wheel. Just I'm talking intestines.
Just a big old that dude
And it
exploded.
stunk.
Yeah, it stunk. That dude exploded.
And he rode past it and didn't even see it.
They all rode, but me and Mike are the only ones who
I was
saw
like,
it.
nobody saw it.
There was 2 semi trucks pulled over, and I guess one of the drivers got out to check on something, and another semi
clipped him.
Got him. And about a half a mile down the road, that semi that got him was over on the shoulder, and the front end was all tore up.
Yep.
But it was brutal, man.
Stunk. Oh my God.
I was still shook up from what had happened because you were like me and Mike were back there in the back. We were like this because when it started happening, that car, what happened was it wasn't when he come by like this and started zooming. What he did was I seen it because I was watching him. I said, "This dumbass is going to wreck." And about that time, he did. He came up like this, and he clipped that dude, and he spun sideways, and he hit the tractor trailer in the side of the fuel tank. He hit that skid like that.
And
he
just drugged
bounced,
him.
yeah, and he bounced back. Other car popped him, and that's when he spun and went in front of the truck, and the truck was shoving him down the road. Because once me and him cleared, you had cleared, I was like looking like, what the hell? And when I looked back, the dude in the car had slung the driver's door open and was stepping out of the car, and I was still fucked up with that.
Yeah.
I didn't even see the dude splattered on the road.
Yeah, but that was
it was on down
a couple
the road.
miles down the road.
Really? I didn't even see that. I guess I was daydreaming or not paying attention.
Really daydreaming. It was deep.
Oh, man. Still shook up and had my mind back there.
It was a brutal scene.
It was.
But
that was the worst shit I've ever seen.
But we did see seals on the Cabot Trail. Yep, we saw seals. Nice. Rode all the way 2,000 miles and saw some seals.
Huh? Oh, you're talking about just to get
Just to get there.
Yeah.
So I had more than 2,000 miles.
We saw George Bush's house in
Kenny Buttport, Maine.
Kenny Butthurt, Maine.
Yeah.
I got a picture too. You want to see it? Made my boy nervous.
You're gonna make me nervous.
No, it made Jeff.
Yeah.
He was nervous. They got Secret Service. They got cameras on this.
Yeah.
I don't
like,
care.
Fuck it.
No, what? So we went with some buddies of ours, Bill and Jeff, and I had never met either one of them. Well, I met Bill at your wedding.
Yeah.
But I haven't met Jeff before. Well,
That's the first time I'd met Jeff.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jeff is quite the man.
He's a different dude, but it's all right.
No, this guy rode.
Hey, a bike without a windscreen on it, with no good rain gear.
And he was
soaked and frozen to the
80, 90 miles an hour. We're all on our BMW sitting there with heated seats, you know, he's over there right beside us, no windshield. Might as well be wearing a damn sweatshirt and some. But Man, he didn't complain the whole time. We pulled in.
He told me he was freezing.
Yeah, and he had his heated gear. And we're like, we stopped to eat, and he was freezing, teeth chattering.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I was really worried about him.
They had gloves. I bought me some gloves because everything I had was soaked.
Yeah.
I wasn't miserable, but like, what the hell? They got gloves here. I'm going to get some.
I was really worried about the guy. I'm like,
dude, he wouldn't buy no gloves. I started to give them to him.
I'm like, Jeff, are you okay, dude? Like, you can't get on that bike.
Dripping with the water when we stopped eating lunch.
He said,
remember?
The lady said, she said,
pee-pee. Yeah.
We were in a French.
Yeah.
We were in French Canada, and everybody spoke French.
In a whole puddle of water.
All the way across the restaurant.
It ran from here to your front tire across the restaurant.
Yeah. So we're standing outside getting ready to go, and he's sitting there shivering and shaking, and I'm like, you can't get on that bike like that, man. You'll cramp up and wreck, dude. You can't. And he's like, well, I got my heated gear. You
Right
think
in front
I
of
should?
George Bush's house.
No. Text it to me. I can put on the.
I was like,
I don't know how to do it.
He's like, I got my heated gear.
Rumors.
You think I should put it on?
Yes, put it on.
I'm like, dude, you mean to tell me you've come all this way and all that, and you haven't had your heated gear on, but you've had it with you?
Yeah.
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 It's like the scene in Dumb and Dumber when he's like, he's like, my hands are freezing. He's like, maybe you should take these extra gloves.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you've had extra gloves this
This
whole
whole
time.
Yeah.
Now, remember, also besides that, remember, we was Three Rivers, Canada, or whatever that is.
Trace Rivieras.
Trace Rivieras, or whatever.
Yeah.
Man, it was pouring.
Pouring.
I mean, it was pouring. We were getting ready to leave. We were all looking at this. We were all getting all our rain gear on and stuff. And we go outside. We're getting ready to get on the bike.
We're fully loaded up.
Fully loaded.
We're ready to go. We all turn the keys on, hit the starter.
Boom, 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 boom. All was cranked. Jeff goes,
Oh, no.
he goes,
Hey, he's trying to tell him how to put a dang battery, but he's like, hey, you got to do that. My red list. Get the fuck out of this way.
goes, I own a transmission shop, man. Chill. I got it.
Yeah, I'll have this battery in 2 seconds. Just back up for a minute.
So we had to go get him a battery. Bill had to go get his ass a battery.
Yeah.
Like that on there. But that was it. Really
Bill
just
came
the
back.
rain.
He was soaking ass wet. And then the rain stopped.
Yep.
Well, it slowed down a little bit.
Slowed down.
But when Bill left out, I mean, it was pouring. The gutters were full when he left. But it was quite an adventure going up there. We stayed in this bed and breakfast. What was that boy's name?
Oh, what's his?
I got the pic of George Bush's house right there.
Yeah, there I
There
am
we
with my
go.
buddy Coleman. We just hanging out, Kenny Butthurt.
I mean,
Man.
that was probably one of the best trips. As far as just what we seen and what we was able to do.
George,
yeah, George's wife was George's wife.
George, we got some toilets to clean today.
Yeah.
What? Oh yeah, she
Oh,
run
man.
the place.
So there was a
That
bed
was
and
the place
breakfast.
right there.
It was a bed and breakfast, right? And I don't remember the lady's name, but
The Willow House.
yeah. So
The Willow House.
yeah. So
Pick two Maine.
Two Maine.
So-
yeah.
Well, no, not Pick
we're
two,
there.
Pick two, Nova Scotia.
and we
Nova Scotia.
noticed that this older lady that's kind of looks like Carol Baskins. I swear to God, if you remember
Oh,
the
yeah,
Tiger
yeah,
King,
yeah.
Carol
Oh,
Baskins,
yeah.
she reminded me of Carol Baskins. All right, so and then
Nice.
George is the do boy. He's Cabana boy. You know what I'm talking about. So George is just lingering around this whole time, and whatever
Mama said. he
whatever
jumped to
Mama
it.
says, he jumped on it. So we're getting all ready to check out and everything, and she's like, George, go check this. George, go check that. Like I can hear, in the kitchen because it's an old house, and she thinks that nobody's listening. Well, I was like sitting on this little love seat that's by a window because it was raining, and I was just watching it, drinking my coffee, and George was Cabana boy.
Cabana boy.
Yeah,
He was.
straight up. like,
Mom must have had the money.
yeah.
Yeah, she bossed him around.
Yeah, he grind that axe for a long time.
He was a good little house bitch.
Yeah, he was house bitch for sure.
Yeah, he was.
And it was funny. Coleman went downstairs and made coffee. All right. And I
don't know where Tyler was at.
He makes his coffee, puts his cream and his sugar, and he mixes it up with his stir stick. Then he takes a napkin and he puts it down, and he puts his stir stick on a napkin. He goes outside and he's drinking his coffee. So a couple minutes later, I mosey on down, and there's Carol Baskin. I see someone made coffee. I think, yep. And they were ever so thoughtful to leave their stir stick on my antique counter. And I was like, well, we put a napkin down. He's like, so I have plenty of these stir sticks. Throw them away. And I'm like, okay. Well, Coleman did that, not me. You know? Yeah. And then I was like, so in the South, when you do that, that means you're coming back for another cup. And she looked at me like I was crazy, and I'm like, that's just the way we do things. We're not wasteful. We make a cup of coffee, we stir it up, we put it in, because we're coming back for another cup. There's no use in getting another stir stick
We
or
were
whatever.
early. We were the first ones up. There's nobody else up.
But it was funny. She was all bent out of shape that Coleman left a stir stick on her little table.
Coleman?
Hey, man, she gave
Goddamn.
Was that the one upstairs?
No,
in
in the dining room downstairs. Yeah, and then they fed us like some avocado egg toast.
It was good.
It was good, but
wasn't that much.
2 or 3 more would have been nice.
It wasn't enough for a country boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we were in Pick 2 another night. Now they have like this live music thing going on. You know how all these new little towns and cities have got their live. We're trying to make some money. Come eat the restaurants, listen to music. So I go down there, and we had eaten at this restaurant, and it was closing down because we always get back to camp late. And they're all in there bullshitting, talking, and I went outside and was hitting my vape, and I hear this music coming from a tent like a block away, right on the water over there. It was real nice and pretty. I go walk over there, and there's a dude in there, and he was singing David Allen Coe. You Never Really Loved Me.
Oh, I thought it was Mama got run over by a damn old train.
It was You Never Really Loved Me. And I didn't know that was the song he was playing.
You didn't recognize it?
No, I only knew because I knew the lyrics of the song. It was the most Canadian rendition of David Allen Coe I'd ever heard in my life. Like, it was horrible. They started walking down towards the tent, and I'm walking back, and they're like, what's going on over there? I was like, nothing. Nothing. You don't even want to go. And then on the way back, they have this little beach, and it was literally no bigger than this room. You know, and the lady, Carol Baskin, she's like, y'all go look at the strip and go down and check out the beach. And we walked down there, and it's like, is this the fucking beach?
It was.
It was just like, and there was like 2 wooden chairs out there. It was like a postcard beach, you know?
Yeah.
Like some.
Like you take a picture of it and make it seem like it's a massive beat.
Yeah.
Here,
good times out there,
show it
brother.
up to that one.
Huh?
To that camera. You show it on that.
The camera up there.
So Mike, there's cameras that are.
You're being watched
right now.
now,
There's
sir.
cameras that are on you.
Roger.
Like that one is looking at you.
Damn.
Roger.
So yeah.
I could see myself on that one.
That was good times.
What is that?
Idaho.
What?
You technology. Hey, you got grandkids. You might want to get them to show you how to use your fucking phone.
Y'all see me trying to get mom.
How old's Turkey? He's 4, 3. How old's Huntley?
Huntley's 4. Cirky will be 4 in December. You know they got another one, right?
Which one? RJ.
Walker.
Yeah, RJ.
You don't know about Walker?
Yeah, but she's still a baby.
Yeah, she'll
You
be 6 months the first.
Damn. Yeah.
Already.
Little chunky thing.
Yeah, she's a chunkster.
Gets that from her dad. Well, any other stories we're gonna bring up? Or are we gonna wrap the show up, fellas?
We're gonna wrap it up. Pop
Hey, I will tell you. I will tell
Do you
you.
need to stay here tonight? You go sleep on the 500,
Listen.
bring back days of the 80s?
If you ever go to Canada and you go with Mike, let him go first. Because by the time you go up there and show them your passport, they don't want to hear a fucking thing you got to say. Because they're still trying to figure out what the hell he was talking about.
Just wave you through.
So, we went up to the fucking border, man. And I don't even know what he told him. But
I disagreed with him.
Yeah,
Yeah, wait second.
yeah.
He said y'all were going to so and so, and you're gonna loop around. You're supposed to be back down in Virginia by Thursday night. I was like, that ain't the fucking plan. But yeah.
That's questions. I wasn't sure. I just told you some answers.
That's where we're going. Yeah. Hell yeah.
And he
I'm
started
with this
asking me
guy.
the same shit. And I was like, God damn, what is Mike told me?
Well, what are y'all doing up here? I said, hell, we come through riding. He goes, well, where are you going?
Hey, so I was third, wasn't I?
Yeah.
I was third in. All right, I get up to the line, and I knew what happened. I get up there, I take my helmet off, turn the bike off, put the kickstand on. I hand them my passport, and then go, "You with them?" I said, "Yeah." Have a nice trip. That was it. That was it. Coming back into the United States, the same shit. And then
Hey, the guy told me when we came back in, I was trying to pronounce that phrase, but I was speaking in Spanish. He started laughing. He goes, next time you say it, you might not want to put Spanish. He said, it's French. I was like, I said, man, I'm from Georgia, man. I said, I'm just trying to get back home. He goes, you have a good trip, son.
Yeah.
Welcome back home.
And then we like.
And then they run us off because he said we might get shot or something.
Yeah, we come back into the United States and we cross over the border, and as everyone goes through, we pull off, to the side and wait on everybody else. Well, we all meted up, and we had been going through some rain and stuff, so the weather was, easing up. So we decided to take off some rain gear. We're on the side, on the shoulder, way out of the way, but we are maybe
50 yards from the border?
Yeah, I would say
from the checkpoint?
400, 500 feet from the check. Well, not even, maybe 3. So we're there. Yeah, and we're taking our stuff off, Hey,
So you're like stripping within view of the
Well, we're not stripping. You're just taking jacket off,
Well, to them, you're stripping.
Yeah, so, we're like, oh, we're back in the States, almost home, So next thing you know, some dude comes walking out there, and he's like, hey, guys, are you all here? And we're like, yeah, time to move along. I would hate to have one of y'all get shot because somebody decides they want to come barreling through here in their truck and come across the border illegally, and y'all get caught in the crossfire. You are in direct line of fire.
From Canada to the U.S.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought they just threw maple syrup at people.
I wanted to be like, hey, relax, buddy. Relax, guy.
He was all business. He was Barney Fife,
buddy.
I'm not your guy, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
I'm not your friend,
bulletproof
guy.
vest on, and he was all business.
Yeah, he was.
Relax, guy.
Do you think he had like paintball bullets in his rifle?
No, he
I
had.
didn't want to find out.
He had.
Shit.
He had a itchy finger, is what he told me by his statements. Because that's why he got that job. He's waiting on that fucking pickup truck. Seriously, who else comes up with a fucking story like that, dude? And we're not even at a busy crossing. Like, we pull up and there's like 4 cars there. When we're coming in, there's like 100,000 fucking cars everywhere, 20 lanes. Here, there's like 3 lanes and 2 cars. Like, welcome back to the United States. Come on in.
Yeah.
Hey, you can't park there. You're gonna get shot. A truck will be here any minute.
That's what I'll say about the trip. Those people in Canada know how to drive.
Hey, they get the hell out of you, what?
I don't
You come
know.
up behind
They
them,
do.
I don't know what it is.
In a
but when you
fast
come up-
lane?
Yep, you're in the fast lane. Come up and you turn your left.
They
turn
don't say,
signal
hey,
on.
I'm driving the speed limit.
No.
No, they get the hell out of the
As soon
way.
as you get up, whoop, they pull up. Whoop. I mean, within 10 seconds, if that.
They don't even get to them.
Yeah.
They see you coming, they move out of the way.
Well, when you're doing 130,
Well, is that kilometers or miles per
that
hour?
was miles per hour. I couldn't figure out how to get my bike on kilometers.
He was trying to make Bill hate that Harley.
Bill was hating that Harley. That thing smelled like a burnt up Briggs and Stratton.
Boy. We pushed that motherfucker to the lip, man.
He said, boy, if I'm going to ride across country with you, I'm going to have to get a faster bike.
I'm going to get a going.
Get some factor.
You're going to get
Some bitch drink so much gas.
Yeah.
He ain't lying either.
Well, that was a good show. Even though your mic didn't work, I feel like you still got a good bit of talking because you're loud as fuck.
Well,
So, but no, I'm glad to have you guys in. Oh, a few things I was going to say while sharing the stories of the stolen bike. Again, help that dude find his bike, and you will get 500 entries into my YZ250 giveaway. Call in live during the show. The fucking guy we don't know of, he with the 350 made up story probably. 100 entries. If I don't have his name. I guess I can't give him fucking entries.
I'll take them.
Oh,
Anonymous.
Yeah, I'll give you
right
an extra
here.
one. All right. Mark Anthony that called in, 100 entries. If and
It's
the
that easy?
Scott guy,
It's that
100
easy.
entries to call in and share a story. That's what I want this show to be, is just to let people send in stories from riding, because fuck, just the three stooges I have in here.
We do not have enough time to cover half, a quarter of. You know how many miles I've ridden with that guy?
I'm sorry.
No, it's been a blast. It's been a blast. Every single one of them is a great time.
And the miles that I've been on the road with you over our trips, Mike.
I came up with my buddy and that there peanut butter and jelly. My buddy Bill, he was worried about it. I said, Coleman wants to go. He goes, think I'll get along with him? I said, oh, yeah.
Bill,
Coleman ain't never met a stranger in his life.
Peanut butter and jelly, you're going to love him.
So Bill has like red. Well, he's got a cotton ball now, but his beard's red. He used to have red hair. I could tell, but
you know your kind.
Yeah. So I as a joke, I'm like, I won't tell people you're my fucking dad. Like we're traveling across country. This is my dad. And he went with it, and it's great. We're gonna keep going with it. That Bill's my
You
dad.
could have gone an extra step and been like, "This is my dad. This is the trip we wanted to do. He's dying of cancer." Like he could have got the guy laid.
There'll be several more
just saying.
opportunities.
There's gonna be more trips.
Yeah, we'll get that sorted out. Like, yeah, but I do like the whole. Hey, Dad. He loves that. He'll pull that out at the restaurant. I want that one, Daddy.
Hey, he didn't ask me about Tyler because he probably had already asked you. I think he did. He goes, do you know Tyler? Coleman said he's going to be all right. I said, all right, he's going to be good.
That Coleman was upset when I went to Canada because they had to take him on a trial run, and I didn't have to have no trial run. I just got to go.
You were talking about him on the last show you came in.
Hey, it wasn't a trial run we took him on. You saw the picture of him on the way back.
I know.
He went on a real trip.
He showed up ready.
He was ready.
He was ready.
I wish I had that damn picture.
Bill's got that shit. Bill's got it somewhere.
He had that thing packed up, and I looked at it and said, shit, dude, you realize we're going riding, don't you?
No, I pulled up at Bobby's.
It was higher in his head when he was sitting on it. It was higher in his
I
head.
pulled up, and the first thing out of Mike's mouth, he looked at everything on my bike. He goes, God damn, did you use the bags? Is there anything in the side bags? I had the kitchen sink up in this son of a bitch.
He ain't lying.
He brought everything, including the kitchen sink.
He had a big ass tent. He had him a chair to sit in the tent. Dude, he was sending this stuff home left and right before we got back home.
I had a jet ball. I had stuff, a little rope saw. I had all kinds of shit.
He's ready for the damn trees to fall across the road.
I haven't been enough times in West Virginia to know.
Yeah. But yeah, anytime you can't get anybody
You
on
got
the
the
show,
picture.
I'm always down.
Yeah, no, it'd be good to have you guys in any time. Even this fucking knucklehead, it's his second time in. But
Well, we got plenty more stories.
what else was I gonna hit on? Yeah, send in some stories. We'll play them. That's the premise of the show, just to give the person that doesn't have a way to send in stories and let the world hear them. That's what we're here for. So, all right, we're gonna wrap up the show, and you guys probably don't know because fuckers don't listen, obviously. So at the end of the show, I always ask my kid to tell me a motorcycle story. So that's what we're gonna hear on the way out. We'll hear the outro, and then we'll end the show. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks for listening. I will also want to remind, available anywhere your podcasts want to go. I finally, officially, it's on Apple Podcasts. Anybody that wants to listen to this, it's on Apple Podcasts. You just go right to your fucking phone. Hit it. Campfire Moto Stories. Episode 1. Play them all.
Nice.
So.
What's in 2 weeks?
2 weeks is my next show. God damn, Grandpa.
He was
I thought you were talking about a race. I'm like, hell, there's one this weekend.
He's ready to go. Old Pawpaw's ready to go.
Way past Pawpaw.
Way past it.
He's sitting there thinking,
No, but hey, thanks guys for coming in. It's been a good fun.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, we'll have you in again.
I gotta be back up in less than 6 hours. And go to
You
work.
need to stay here. You can cuddle with me.
Nah.
No, he's out.
He's got it. He's got a sweet little dog that'll cuddle with you.
You want to go ahead and tell me your story now?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
One time, me and Frankie and my friend Ducky went on a street bike all the way to Target.
Target.
And we got some Legos.
What kind of Legos did you get?
We got Christmas Legos for Christmas.
Oh, because Christmas is coming up?
Yes.
You know, Halloween and Thanksgiving's for those then.
Yeah. And we also got those kind of Legos too.
Got those Legos as well? You
Yep.
didn't get any motorcycle Legos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did get some.
What kind of motorcycle Legos did you
We got a blue one from Yamaha.
Oh, okay. Because blue's your favorite color?
Yeah.
Nice. Anything else happen in the story? Did you guys do anything way back with Frankie and the Ducky?
And we went, and next after Target we went to the beach.
The beach?
And me and Ducky went for a swim, and Frankie.
And Frankie? But she doesn't like the water.
Well, she just jumped in the water.
Was she on the duck's back and she was just riding in that?
I gave her a little tube thing. Target too.
No, okay. You guys got that while you're there. Is that it or is that the end?
That's the end.
You wanna talk about a little bit? I have got started in the darkness with cups and holidays. We give no fucks now, who think twice, yeah. And when this world takes slower, felt like it was trying to shift. How on to what we knew. It can try, but it never break us. It can try, but it never break us. Talk about what's going on, like we can't function on this level. You laugh at who we are, you're the joke that's taken too far. So let's go crashing over, we won't let it take us down. We just keep getting closer.